And I would walk 500 miles. I didn't quite make it. I timed it out in my car and everything. Well, no, I really didn't. But
Why
I thought,
are your pants on fire?
Yes, my pants are extraordinarily on fire.
And you would not walk 500 miles. That's another big, bold lie, I think.
What's at the end of the line, man?
I don't know, but I can't imagine anything that you'd walk 500 miles for. I mean, you want to get the steps, so that's good. How much time do you have to walk the 500 miles?
No, that's not
a
fair.
lifetime.
No. Yeah, if I have a lifetime, I'm doing it for sure.
Okay,
and
yeah.
I got nowhere else to be, right?
Yeah, that I believe.
I can just start walking, and after, I don't know, 12 minutes, lay down on the side of the street and nap for 3 days.
Okay, my apologies for doubting you. If there are couch breaks throughout, then yes, you'd walk 500 miles.
Don't forget snacks.
Yeah, of course.
Since this is a fantasy, can I relapse without anything being like a big to-do?
Of course,
Stop drinking. Where am I going?
I have
Set
a
out the
serious
line.
question.
I am on my way.
Where is he going? If we set out that little string, right? And Seattle's the where the
Space
thing
needle.
goes
So
in.
it's at the space. We're all at the bottom of the space needle.
Yeah,
and there's
so
a 500 mile
that
line.
string, 500 miles. Does he walk into Victoria? You can walk on water, right?
Is that 500 miles?
I don't think so.
I don't think it's anywhere near 500
I think
miles.
it's closer.
But then luckily for you guys, the second line of that song is, and I would walk 500 more.
Oh, so where is 1,000 miles?
Victoria's only 107 miles from here. He could walk there.
Get a GPS there,
5
for
times.
God's sakes.
How far, he could walk to Yakima.
Yeah,
Twice.
probably. Yeah, probably a couple of times.
Okay, so you're probably walking to Walla Walla.
142 miles to Yakima. You're nowhere close.
What the hell is happening to you people?
Trying
I'm
to
not
figure out where
walking
you're
a walk.
walking to.
Well, I don't care where I'm walking. The payoff is what's there at the end.
Okay.
That's what we're trying to figure out. If you walked 500 miles, where would Danny Bonaduce be?
See, you're missing the point. Let's just say it's Yakima.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter a bit. You guys have to get in a truck full of drugs and chicks and alcohol and brass knuckles and plastic liner pants. And then,
What?
well,
we're driving
there's no way all the
alongside
drugs,
him.
alcohol, and chicks and fights, nobody's going to end up in a diaper? Come on. I might start in a diaper so I cannot take breaks.
Because it's going to be like the people who try to swim the English Channel, right? We're going to be in the boat next to you when you walk the 500 miles. So we'll be in the truck with the diapers and the chicks and the booze.
I walk at approximately 3 miles an hour. How long are you going to be in a truck next to me on the street? I think you're very confused. I don't need your help if you put the right stuff at the end of my 500 miles.
Yeah.
With those Scottish twins. Do you remember them, the Proclaimers?
Yeah.
I had their CD like crazy. I lost it. I'd buy another one.
I mean, by remember them, I remember that song, and that's about it.
Isn't that it?
Oh,
Yeah,
they
I
had
think
like
that's
8 other awesome songs.
And,
Okay, go ahead, sing one.
Okay,
Okay, so they had that one song.
Yeah, they did. So anyway, I know. I'm sorry that we got that off track to see what I would walk 500 miles for. I'd walk 500 miles for you, Paul.
For me?
Yeah, sure.
Why would you do that?
You're my pal if you needed me to. If you
I
called me
appreciate
up
that.
and said, hey, I'm in Yakima
Yeah.
twice, and
3 or 4 times at
there,
least.
unbeknownst to you, there is a kidney in your garage that is a perfect match for me,
Yeah.
Danny, pal. Could you bring me that kidney as fast as you can on foot? I would say yes as I was hanging up and already be on my way.
Wow, I really appreciate that,
So
man.
I am here for you, buddy.
In the event that situation ever arises.
Yeah, you need
I
a
will
kidney
feel
in Yakima.
great.
And by the way, only Yakima. You need a
Okay.
kidney anywhere else in the world, you're on your own.
All right.
So why did you open singing that song?
So yesterday, just because we got involved with getting more steps on our Fitbits and things than usual. My wife and I, there's a thing on the Fitbit that says to load up your friends. And I had Paul and I had my wife, and it all came out to be unhealthy. We all, in my opinion, I can't answer for Paul, but certainly for the wife and I. And the wife's normal, you know?
Oh, we all went crazy.
Yeah, we all just went crazy. And so I unfriended people thinking that would be better, and it wasn't any better. It was Amy. It was, and she wasn't, it's not like she's cooking my bunny or anything like that. We just wanted to get more steps than the next guy. So the rule when you buy the Fitbit is try and get, and there's even an alarm, try and get 10,000 steps a day, which, by the way, way harder than it seems.
Yeah, they say that's the average American, you just get that in your daily life. I don't.
Nowhere near. But I'm sedentary. Once I'm out of here and on treadmills and things like that, Amy gets, doing the laundry and cooking and doing the paperwork downstairs, blah, blah, blah. She gets several thousand steps at home. I get 200 because I pee a lot. That's all there is to it. So yesterday, we decided we were going to take a walk. So I start 30 minutes on the treadmill every morning, 4 o'clock, like clockwork, because it is. It's kind of clockwork. Not many steps, 30 minutes. It's 3,500 or so. How is that possible if you're supposed to get 10,000 doing stuff? So then we walked from our house the 1.25 miles or something like that on Queen Anne Avenue, then down the super whammy steep hills across down to Nickerson, which is the same as 15th, which is the same as Elliott. How do people not get lost constantly?
Yeah.
We end up at the Nickerson Bar and Tavern or whatever it is.
Yeah.
like
Then we cross the Fremont Bridge, and then guess how many bicycles are going to cross? And she said 800, and I said, 1,200. 1,700 people.
Wow.
Well, good weather.
Yeah,
I
nice day.
should have thought out. So that we're going to a place called Dusty Strings, which I think is a very cool name. I think I had a traffic reporter named Dusty Strings one time, to seek a guitar teacher of my... First thing I want, because I liked all my guitar teachers, but they're 24 years old. They don't know anything. They just know how to play guitar. And one guy was a Juilliard graduate, a virtuoso on the guitar.
Yeah.
And I mentioned some band or some event, and he went, huh? And okay, you're fired.
And then did he look it up on his phone?
No, he didn't. I was surprised. And he also, you know what young people do? They fall for it. It's funny because I want my guitar lessons and I pay for my guitar lessons, yet I will trick you into discussing anything I can besides playing the guitar because my fingers hurt or whatever it is. So they seem to have grown-up people at this place, Dusty Strings in Fremont. Then Amy said, now we're like forever from our house. And Amy said, now we're just going across the street essentially to... what is it? I even wrote it down. Fremont Bowl.
Oh.
They're like have these Korean bowls or Japanese.
It's not a bowling
Remember I tried to say unagi yesterday and I couldn't do it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's called Fremont Bowl, and they have an unagi bowl that I went to go get, and it was bitching. And it was 8 more blocks up the side of a mountain. we needed mountaineering. We needed one of those hooks with the ropes to pull ourselves up. And
Did you have Sherpas?
What are they, pecrons? We need a pecan.
Piton.
Yeah, what are the things you hammer into the world?
Piton.
Well, pitons? What's a cron? A cramp? A croup?
Crampons are what
A cramp is what
Crampons.
you get. A cramp is what you get in your leg when you're walking up that mountain.
Crampons go on
And a
your
crampon
feet
is what you use, so it's, well, never
to
mind.
climb on ice.
Yeah, all of that was necessary. So it was actually 8 blocks uphill, totally. It was yummy, yummy, yummy. Then stopped at like Fremont, back down the same 8 blocks, but much easier, to the record store, which I forget what it was, but there's a Partridge Family record in front. That's never happened.
Oh, wow.
Like you have to find it. So we signed it, and I think the guy caught us. So we ran out of the store, and it was really fun. But when I ran away from the theft and debauchery, I got 9 more steps.
All right.
News is brought to you by Car Pros Rent and Kia. Washington and more than a half dozen other states said yesterday they are planning to sue the Trump administration over a policy of separating immigrant families illegally entering the United States. Washington Attorney General Bob Ferguson made the announcement outside a federal prison in SeaTac, where 200 immigration detainees have been transferred. Those include dozens of women who were separated from their children under the Trump administration's zero tolerance policy, which calls for prosecuting all migrants caught illegally entering the country. So adjoining our state, Massachusetts, California, Maryland, Oregon, New Mexico, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Minnesota. New York also separately planning to sue.
Wow. What's so good about New York separately suing? Can't join in? Is your apple too big?
Now, at 7:30 this morning in the big news of the day, we have got more on that, including the drama involving the First Lady and what happened yesterday.
Yeah, I'm curious about that. I could not figure it out.
And a semi-truck overturned and crashed yesterday at a major interchange, I-5 in Tukwila. It dumped a load of PVC pipes all across the freeway, creating an hours-long traffic nightmare. Preliminary investigations found that the semi was traveling well over the speed limit. It rolled, and the pipes went everywhere.
Is everybody okay?
They were bagpipes. That's what was in that
Yeah,
thing.
Derek, I don't think they were bagpipes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. Oh, did you think it was a bag of pipes? Yeah. And I understand completely. It's an honest mistake.
It was a truckload of pipes.
Yeah.
Is everybody okay? It looked nasty.
Better than playing crack pipes, I guess.
I guess, yeah.
By that sort of effect. It did look absolutely crazy, and there's no mention of anybody being hurt at all in this crash.
Oh, that's good.
Super surprising. The driver, however, will be cited for negligence, and he gets the bill for cleanup.
He does.
Oh,
Yes.
wow.
Yeah, I guess because he's negligent. Otherwise, I'd say it was an accident. Shut up.
Yeah.
But if he caused it with his negligence, yeah, he should pay.
I got there right after they had shut it down. So that's part of my commute home.
Oh, wow.
And they had just put the cones out, and so I had to go around it and head further south and come back up the other way. But what was great was I got on 405, which is normally busy that time of day, right after the accident scene, and there were no cars.
Oh, that is.
So I was just like, wow, this is awesome. I have the freeway to myself.
Oh, crazy. This morning, Derek will continue to keep you posted as there are some issues already affecting your roadways on this Friday. The Supreme Court delivered a huge decision about online shopping yesterday, ruling that states can collect sales taxes on internet purchases.
You know, I was shocked. I saw the story this morning and didn't figure it out, and hopefully you'll be able to clear it up for me. Like, how can you be griping that you're not paying sales tax? Doesn't everybody have to pay sales tax?
Yeah, and in Washington State, we've already been paying sales tax on most online purchases.
So how come everybody's whining about coughing up their sales tax?
Well,
there were a bunch of places around the country that weren't. So
Yes.
they
Right.
weren't requiring, let's say you purchase something online.
Then how did that happen? How does any American think I don't have to pay my taxes? That's crazy.
well, in this particular case, this was a ruling about Wayfair, which is a company, versus South Dakota. There was a 1992 ruling.
My money's on South Dakota.
Yeah.
There was a ruling back in 1992. This was during mail order, which was all we had in 1992, which declared that states could only collect taxes on businesses that had a physical presence within their borders.
Yeah.
Therefore, I buy something from Paul the Butcher's business.
Right?
As long as Paul is in my state, I pay taxes on that. If Paul
Right.
lives
It's
in
my
California,
responsibility to collect those taxes.
right? But if he
Wait,
lives
you're
in
the seller?
California,
Yes. So,
The seller in a scenario.
yes.
Okay.
So the business wasn't required to collect taxes if they weren't in the same state as you. They would
Okay.
say, okay, I'm in California, you're in Washington, you pay your taxes to Washington on your own.
And now there's a big fight to say, no, everybody has to pay their sales tax, correct?
Yes.
All right.
and this
Seems
is
like a lot of work for some poor small business that gets orders from everywhere in the world.
Yeah, it's easier for somebody like Amazon who has
Right.
the infrastructure, and they've already been doing it for the most part. But for a tiny little internet company, it's going to be tough for them.
Well, they say who really would be affected are the smaller ones. Amazon will be affected, but to a lesser extent because they do already collect some sales tax on direct purchases, but it doesn't require independent merchants to do so.
Right.
So Paul
Got
the
it.
Butcher is selling his bacon. Amazon is not requiring him to collect those taxes. Under this, they would have to. So,
Cool.
Paul, your meat's going to cost more.
Yeah, and Amazon's actually going to get a little bit of a boost because their prices comparatively will seem lower.
Yeah.
Because it was already this price, and now I see this other retailer has raised their price
Yep.
essentially. I'm going to stick with Amazon. But you can't buy my bacon on Amazon. So.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Well, thank you all for clearing that up.
I made a purchase on Amazon yesterday. I did this a couple of days ago and it blew my mind. I've been an Amazon Prime member for forever and free 2-day shipping. Great. And sometimes I'll click, 5-day, you get like $1 credit towards something because if I don't really need
Yeah.
it right away. But I bought something the other day and then I did it again yesterday. They said it will be there tomorrow for free. How is that possible?
Oh, I don't know. I
Crazy.
get my stuff from Amazon so fast. Amy says,
Yeah.
all right, I'm going to order it for you. And literally, the Ring doorbell makes that thing, and there's some guy dropping it off.
Yeah, you can do. I did this once. I wanted some cherries, some fancy cherries to make a cocktail. They do have within the hour, like that's more of a pantry type of thing. It's more like a delivery service,
Yeah.
like a local business. But this was, I bought a purse and it's going to show up at my house in 12 hours. How's
Cool.
that possible?
Because life's bitching in this
Yeah.
day and age.
Man, we live in such a hedonistic society.
It's because they have so many warehouses all over the place. Which
You know
is,
what I like is that you are describing a transaction you made and then saying, man, what a hedonistic
Yeah.
world we live in.
Right.
But you're right. You ordered cherries so you could make a drink.
Yes.
Yeah, man, that's living.
They were expensive cherries, by the way. These cherries are so good. They're like made in brandy, and they're really, really good for Manhattan or an old fashioned. But I needed to get up to like $15 or $20, so I ordered.
what a great combination too, a Manhattan and salt and vinegar potato
It was
chips.
pretty great. Well, there is a terrible story making the rounds, has everybody talking, and there is disturbing footage to go along with it. This footage shows a French-speaking Catholic priest slapping a baby boy across the face during the little one's baptism. This shocking clip was originally shared on Reddit, and it has quickly gone viral. It's an old clergyman, and he is heard calling the situation a tantrum. He then tries to console the baby, urging him to calm down, but the baby continues to wail. The priest gets agitated, so he strikes him with enough force to make a sound.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, one of the craziest things I've ever seen. He
And especially because you're a dad.
Yeah, and the parents actually have to pry the baby away from the priest. He doesn't want to give the baby up, and they're like, "You just hit my kid."
Yeah, you can't do that, Father.
They haven't identified him, but I would imagine if
He must be thinking, with all the stuff going on in the news, I can probably put my hand on this kid any way I want. As long as it's that, I'm good. I can smack this kid.
It was terrible.
But good. I'm glad, there are going to be repercussions to that.
they're going to find him for sure. That it was a bad.
Is he
dude.
running?
They haven't identified the man yet, so the parents obviously know who he is, but we don't know who he is. As soon as the press
He's a priest
finds
that
out,
works for a church, right?
Yep.
Yeah, they know who he is.
Yeah.
Well, so as soon as the press figures out who he is, they'll be camped outside of his door demanding for him to be removed. A Texas man is facing several charges after he allegedly threw chairs at police officers while drunk and naked inside a casino.
No.
It does sound like a good time, doesn't it?
It sounds like, who's that guy had his own show?
Danny Bonaduce.
Carlos. Is that it?
Carlos?
Mexican comic.
Carlos Mencia?
No, had 3 of his own television
Fred
shows.
Lopez. No, George Lopez.
George Lopez. Remember that guy's breakdown in casinos?
Yes.
Laying on the floor, yelling about stuff in Spanish.
Who's Fred Lopez?
His brother.
Yeah, okay.
I like his sister, Coco. Well, in this case, it is not any of those aforementioned people. His name is Terrence Rockmore. He is 24.
Great name. I wouldn't mind that name. What's your name? Rockmore?
Yeah. Don't want to rock any less.
Right.
He is charged with a whole slew of things. This happened before midnight. He was at Diamond Jack's Casino and Hotel in Bossier City, and he was super excited. Next thing people knew, he had stripped off all his clothes, and his excitement took it to the next level. He began to grab
Are you saying
chairs.
what I think you're saying?
Yes.
He got that excited?
They said at first he was agitated, then he got very excited, and then he was really excited.
What's the next level? I don't know if I've ever gotten to the next level.
You haven't? You should see a doctor.
I mean, okay, wait. How many levels are there? Maybe I have gotten to the next.
There's like 4 levels, of course.
There's 4
One
levels?
is standing there, minding your own business.
Yeah, I've been there.
2, you start getting excited by whatever thing, women or just a good hand at the poker table or whatever. That's level 2. Level 3, you're laying down on the ground ripping off all your clothes. And number 4 is obviously getting happy if you know what we mean. There's 4 right there.
I've made it through
I
them
think
all.
now there's 5 because you have to get unhappy or you have to go to the hospital.
Well, he started to get a little unhappy when they pepper sprayed him.
Oh, that'd do it for me.
Yeah. They peppered sprayed his Hoozits.
Terrence Rockmore is now rocking less behind bars. A fleet-fingered woman
Yeah.
has
Female.
That's what I figured.
fleet.
I had flautist.
For some reason, I was
Does
like
she-
flight attendant, and she's not a flight attendant.
But does she,
Does she
play the flute?
No.
Oh.
Well, she could with all that talent.
Rosie Baldwin was in France
Yeah.
to partake in the Guinness World Record for texting. She broke the record for the fastest time to type the alphabet on a touchscreen mobile phone with only 0.16 seconds to spare. She texted the entire alphabet in 7.44 seconds.
That's actually a lot of time to spare. It's like double the amount it took you to do the deed. It was 7 seconds to do the deed, right?
To break the record.
What
She
was the
broke
old
the
record?
record with 0.16 seconds
I
left.
heard 16 seconds. Okay.
0.16. So she broke the record and texted the entire alphabet freaky fast, 7.44 seconds. Guinness says that they are allowing other participants to attempt to break the record because they have to watch you do it,
Right.
and time you.
Yeah.
You know what the new record is I really like? Texting the alphabet as fast as you can while driving. That's a thing.
I'm currently holding that record.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you can't do that.
Paul can.
You shouldn't do that.
He's Paul.
Workers at a California thrift shop tracked down a man who had donated his late mother's doll collection without realizing what was inside. Ray Reinhardt.
His late mother? Was his late mother inside?
The ashes?
No.
Oh.
Worse. No, better. Something bigger?
Yeah, okay.
So we know the kind of dolls I'm talking about, right? Creepy dolls that grandma might collect.
Yeah, porcelain crazy dolls.
Porcelain dolls that blink at you and stare at you.
P.
Well, this this man's doll collection, he donated it. And when they opened up the boxes is when they found $36,000 cash money.
In a box or in a doll's head or?
Well, most of the time, these sorts of dolls are encased in a cushiony type of silky box. It's not just laying there in a bunch of cardboard. So they took it out of the box and they felt something behind it, opened up all of that pretty cushioning. There's $36,000. It's where mom hid all of her money instead of under her mattress.
Okay, now mom's dead, so she's not making a big to-do about this.
Yep.
So do they find the money and then call him?
Yep.
Well, that's sweet of him. I would never do that.
No, not at all.
I have no respect for anybody that has a doll collection anyway. Yeah, I'm not giving you your money back.
He said he got the phone call from the American Cancer Society's Discovery Shop in Santa Monica, California, and said there was something else in that box. And he shows up and there's $36,000.
All right, it's 30. Let's make it $40,000 just to make this easy. You get a call from the Red Cross.
The Cancer Society. This makes it tough.
And they said, hey, we're the Cancer Society. You know, can you hear that coughing? It's a 7-year-old boy, Paul.
Yeah.
Anyway, we found your $40,000. Here you go. What are you going to do now?
I'm going to go pick it up. I don't think that $40,000 makes any impact on cancer research, and it makes a lot of impact in my life.
Wow. I did not guess that this was going to be your answer.
Were you going to let them keep the $40,000? Say that was a donation?
No. But I would also never think that $10,000 or $20,000 doesn't make any difference. That's why you donate. Everybody's money, and you 12 million people
everybody,
giving
if you
a dollar
pool it together. Yeah.
So I'm good at $10,000.
Well, the way I'm thinking of it, I bet these dolls were worth a lot of money. So he did give them money. He did give them something. And
so you're taking all the money back, too?
I'm taking all the money back.
Wow.
Heartless. I mean, I did the same thing.
It's kind of terrible.
I need that money, man.
You don't need that. Need the
do.
money. You're healthy.
Plus, it was my money. My mom died for that money.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think the scary dolls gave her a heart attack.
In other news, Minnesota dog owners have announced that their canine is retiring as the city's mayor.
What?
Mayor Duke.
Yeah, we know this story, I think.
He's a Great Pyrenees. He was elected to mayoral office.
I remember the cat in Alaska. He served like 3 terms.
No, there's a dog involved.
In this case, this is a Pyrenees named Mayor Duke. He was elected.
Make up your mind on the titles here. Mayor Duke, Your Majesty.
Your Royal Mayor Dukedness.
Now, he has been mayor for 4 terms, Mayor Duke. And they said, he loves being mayor, but he's 13. It is time for him to retire.
So in real world, how do you mayor? It's just the city council?
But you tell us. You're the mayor of Puyallup.
Yeah, but I mean, but I'm not a dog.
He's got a deputy mayor who's doing
Is
all
that
of
what
the
it
day-to-day
is?
work.
So it's just a cute little thing.
He just sits there and takes bribes. People are giving him treats.
I told you before, this is how we got Jesse Ventura. Be careful what you wish for.
That one in Talkeetna, Alaska, that cat was cute. It was a good mayor. There's a crazy story about a criminal in a place called Pine Bluff. A thief stole a woman's purse at a gas station. He was arrested 2 days later because he tried to use one of her stolen credit cards at the restaurant where she was the waitress.
Oh, that's hysterical.
So Flora Lunsford, she parks at a gas station, goes in, pays for her gas. While she's inside, a man breaks into her vehicle and steals her purse. Surveillance video shows this happening, and he drives away, gets away, and she's sad. 2 days later, she goes to work 2 blocks away. She serves a man, and then he hands her over the credit card to pay for his meal. When this woman went to ring it up, she looked at the card, saw her own name. That's when she called the cops, who quickly arrived and arrested the perpetrator.
That's good that she looked at it. Amy wrote on the back of my credit cards after my wallet was stolen and that guy bought the whole world, wrote, ask for identification. It's written in Sharpie on the back of the card.
Yeah.
I would say 1 out of 20 times people ask me for IDs. Yeah.
Well, and especially now with the, what do you call it, the little box that you put your own credit card into, you're not handing them the credit card anymore.
The chip?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So nobody's even looking at it. And most of these credit card companies, they don't even require a signature anymore.
No, everybody's, you got what is it, the chip, not the chip, the square.
The tap.
Yes.
Tried to give some homeless dude $1 yesterday. He charged me for it.
There's
Slide
like a
that through there.
37-cent
Yeah.
fee. How dumb is this criminal, though? She's wearing a name tag, and he hands her.
I didn't even think of that.
He hands her own credit card.
Yep. Dummy. When you think of maybe duck lips, you think of like the Real Housewives, the kind of lips that I'm talking about.
I do now. I didn't. I'm
Women-
going, I don't think they have lips. What kind of duck is this? Got it now, the crazy duck lips.
Women
My
with big-
ex-wife has them.
Yeah, and periodically you'll see one of these women get the lip injection and it's too much and it takes a while for it to go back down. There's images of a Russian woman who had lips that look like that. Well, really just her upper lip. Only it started moving. She could not figure out what happened. She then noticed that lump kind of moved around by her eye. So she took a series of selfies. These are not photos for the faint of heart. She said oftentimes the lip or when it moved up to the eye, it would be itchy. So she went to an ophthalmologist. This is a case now being chronicled in the New England Journal of Medicine.
So was it legal, normal?
It was not lip injections. She got a parasite from a mosquito bite.
Ew.
So
That's
it
gross.
looked like she'd had a lip injection, but oh no, Becky, it was roundworms.
Ew.
Ew.
How long till somebody makes out with her again?
Ew, forever.
If she has a sign around her neck, had ringworms in my lips. Or whatever, roundworms in my lips. Give me a big fat kiss, $3. I would do it.
She's probably not using those pictures on her online dating profile.
By the way, oftentimes when we have these stories, we say, oh, those pictures are up at KZOK.com. I did you a favor and asked Tori not to post those pictures at KZOK.com. A sad story in the news. Kate Spade, who we know died back on June 5th.
I was going to say, this kind of old news. It's sad news. Kate Spade.
Yeah.
We know it's very sad.
Her funeral is today, and her father just died.
So he won't go.
He will not be attending. They just announced his death at the age of 89.
So she had the genes to live a nice, good, long time.
Yep.
That's so sad.
He died yesterday.
I'm not that sad with him, except that he goes to his grave. His daughter have just committed suicide.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's sad.
That's pretty heartbreaking.
What's going on with all this stuff with suicide?
How about some good news in the news?
Love that.
KFC.
That's good news right there.
Yeah,
Just
you don't
throw
say
that
anything
out.
else.
All right, moving on. No, just kidding. KFC actually making me reconsider being a vegetarian because, one of my favorite foods is fried pickles.
Mhm.
Buffalo Wild Wings makes great ones. Lunchbox Laboratory fried pickles. Well, KFC hopping on board the pickle juice trend. They have announced pickle juice fried chicken.
All right.
So they are making fried chicken and the sauce, the crispy stuff it's all like fried pickles.
Like there's fried pickled juice there's pickled juice in the batter?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I'm in.
They said this is not going to be something that lasts, but it will be in KFC locations starting Monday.
I don't want it to last, especially if it interferes with regular, normal KFC. There's no improvement on that. If you have to have the crispy, all right, fine, have some crispy. If you have to have the whatevery, have the whatevery. But the KFC, I happen to think is the greatest fried chicken in the world.
Yeah.
I know everybody's supposed to get like a cooler, foodier term.
Ezel's
But yeah, no, that's good. Don't get me wrong. Ezel's very, very good and has other things and sides that KFC doesn't have. But KFC, big winner.
Well, they said this is in response to how many customers continually ask for extra pickles on their sandwiches. So they said, we're just going to make this pickle-tastic.
All right.
All right.
But they say once it's gone for good.
That's how much I'm involved with this. I had no idea KFC made a sandwich. They make chicken.
Oh, yeah.
Do they make
I mean, they make chicken sandwiches.
chicken sandwich? I guess that makes sense. I don't even look at the menu, man. I know
Yeah.
exactly what I want every
You
time.
just drive up and go, chicken.
Yeah, I do.
Nice.
It's time for today's Things Are Not Right in Florida story of the day.
Yay!
Police have arrested a woman. She got really angry at one of her neighbors for what he did to her yard. Helena Molnar, 75, was arrested because a man who lived next door watered her plants.
That bastard.
You do not water Helena's plants.
How dare he?
That's what she said. No, but really, that's
Like
what
literally?
Yeah, that's what she said.
she said. When police arrived, they found the man on the ground, and he said, I've been hit with the water jug, but then she hit me with a different object because it made a different sound when she hit me.
Wow, that's a bad girl.
She really did not want you touching her plants.
No, I understand.
Like, was he over-watering them? Had they already been watered and he's, like, saturating
Was he
them?
watering the middle of the hot sun day when it'll
don't
burn
do
your
that.
roots? Don't do that.
Yeah, or did she really just like to be her own gardener? You'll never know
Yeah, I guess
the
not.
answer. Oh, Florida.
Oh, Florida.
News is brought to you by Car Pros Renton Kia. Want to remind you guys today at 7:50, if you can tell us where Sarah's Beaver's been, you can win a pair of tickets to see George Thorogood at the Emerald Queen Casino.
Oh, when he's good, he's good.
And when he's
bad, he's even better. When he's good,
No,
he's thorough good.
Thorough good.
And when he's bad, he's even better. And at some point, he's bad to the bone.
Facebook.com/Sarah's Beaver to look at those pictures. But we will be right back with music news, entertainment, and sports. Some of the things we'll be talking about. Roseanne returning to television.
Wow.
Got the latest. One of Danny's friends who is out on tour. Very bad news. One of your friends, Danny.
My friends are dying lately.
He's alive,
All right, that's
but
good.
not good news for the tour. Well, there we do have good news. You can win Mariners tickets next. In music news, all of the surviving original members of the band Foreigner will reunite for one night and one night only. They have confirmed this in a press release that band leader Mick Jones, Lou Gramm, Dennis Elliott, Al Greenwood, Ian McDonald, and Rick Wills will take part in a show that features all of the members of the lineup. Now, they've done a couple of reuniting shows, but for the most part, they're not all together anymore.
Oh, because I was wondering, they were just at the EQC, weren't they?
They're actually playing White River Amphitheater
Right.
on the 27th of July, and it's not all of those people. So for a while, I think Mick Jones wouldn't tour with them.
Right.
And then I think Lou Gramm wouldn't tour with them, and I have no idea what the beef is, if somebody just wants to do their own thing. But they said one night and one night only, and it is unfortunately not the night at White River Amphitheater.
Oh. I mean, no offense, but I couldn't tell.
Right, yeah.
You could just
I don't
have
think I could either.
men on that stage that dressed like rock stars and sang okay and played instruments pretty good,
Yeah.
and tell me that's Foreigner.
And I'd
Of
have a
course it's
blast.
Foreigner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there is one member who will not be there, but that's because he died back in 2004.
Yeah, that'll do
Wow.
Yeah.
He's excused.
it. You
then.
do not need a note from your doctor when you're dead.
Right.
Woodstock. You know, it was a moment that will never be lived up to again, right?
Right.
1969.
I
Well-
kind of want to say good, but it was such an experience for so many people.
Yeah.
You know, there's like when an adult gets to be a certain age, now they're getting to be old, but you were either at Woodstock or that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it also seems muddy and dirty.
Well, it was. I mean, at the end of the day, there was a lot of garbage, just
Yeah.
like with every music festival. But they are now doing an excavation to look for artifacts. They have a museum, and they want to start doing a walking tour.
Who has a museum?
The town of, it's not technically called Woodstock, but whatever the name of the town is where Woodstock was held.
Junior's Farm or something. I forget the name of it.
But there's a group there who have started a museum, a historical site, and they want to do walking tours where you could, even a self-guided walking tour, say, this is where Hendrix played. This was the stage where this happened, or this was the site of where that happened. So they did an excavation. They said they found some aluminum can pull tabs, some broken glass, a couple of hippie beads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all they've disclosed
Oh,
so
I was
far.
waiting for some big payoff, like they found
No.
Jimi Hendrix's right arm or something.
Right.
No, I'm pretty sure he still had that intact when he left, but they're hoping to do interactive walking routes in time for the concert's 50th anniversary tour next year,
Neat.
or 50th anniversary next year.
Yeah.
And somebody who has been out on tour, a good friend of Danny Bonaduce, Michael Nesmith.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He has been out with the Monkees.
One of the last guests we had on this very radio show.
That's right.
Mostly because I felt some kind of shame. I don't know why we booked him, but yeah, he's fine.
Nice guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was talking about his band reuniting, but most recently, he has been out on tour with the Monkees, Michael Nesmith. And that was until yesterday when he collapsed during sound check. They said he was rushed to the hospital, but they have not disclosed what the medical emergency was.
All right, so he's okay, though.
They said he is okay, but they have postponed the tour.
Yeah. Now, when he's on tour with the Monkees, is it all of those survivors?
No.
And Mickey?
It's him and Mickey.
That's it.
Yeah.
Is that just, well, you wouldn't know these, so it's just me talking. Because I think Peter Tork made almost no presence on the show, to be honest with you. I think if you have Mickey Dolenz, whose voice we're hearing right now, and Mike Nesbitt.
Even if you just have Mickey Dolenz. I mean, nothing against Mike Nesbitt,
Right.
but Mickey Dolenz is
He's a
the...
draw.
You got to have, there's got to be more than one guy when you say the
Yeah,
Monkees.
I guess that's right.
Otherwise, you'd have to book it, maybe even legally, as the Mickey Dolenz show.
Yeah.
So those two together, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know.
I tell you, I opened for them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in Pennsylvania.
Cool.
Like some 2,000 seat, and every one of them was filled.
Nice.
And
The
I went
Monkees
out.
are awesome.
Yeah, Monkees are awesome.
Well,
I mean, you're
wishes.
awesome, and
Thank
of
you.
course, that's why you were together.
No, they found that I was a little abrasive for their audience.
Oh.
Because I said, how the effing time you having or some such thing.
Oh.
Apparently, monkeys don't curse.
Well wishes to Mike Nesmith.
Yeah.
We'll keep an eye on his health and what the issue with him is. Today at 7:20, giving you another chance to win tickets to Foo Fighters September 1st at Safeco Field. Make sure to be here for that. On to entertainment news. ABC, we know, canceled Roseanne
Yeah.
after Roseanne Barr's racist tweets.
I got to tell you, I heard your setup for this story. I am on pins and needles to find out about this.
Well,
Yeah,
late,
you said Roseanne coming back to TV.
That is what you said.
Yep. Roseanne, the show, is coming back to television
She's going to be on TV. She's going to sit on a TV and cry that she got fired.
with a new name minus Roseanne Barr. ABC made it official last night. They will air the revival of Roseanne, but it is tentatively being called The Connors. It'll star John
Oh,
Goodman.
yeah.
How are they
Laurie
going to
Metcalf.
explain the absence of...
Didn't they kill him once and bring him back?
True, yeah, they did.
So when you say Roseanne's back on TV, you mean the show Roseanne,
Yeah.
except it's not going to be called Roseanne. It's going to be called The Connors.
Yeah, and no Roseanne Barr.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Now-
the show Roseanne's back,
No.
kind of.
It's the
No.
entire show minus her.
And
Yeah.
the title.
Yes. Now, they said what is going to happen is it's the entire cast. It's the entire crew.
It
is
should be, really.
everybody.
Yeah.
After a sudden turn of events, the Connors are forced to face the daily struggles of life in Lanford in a way they never have had before. They did not disclose yesterday how they're addressing it.
Well,
Where did
let's see.
Roseanne go? We have no idea.
They killed the dad, right?
Yeah,
And then brought him back like it didn't happen.
Right.
Then they won the lottery
yeah.
and had $100 million or some such thing. And then would they?
Dream sequence, I think. Yeah,
Is
that
that how they turned that out? It was
Yeah.
all a dream? Oh,
Right.
my God.
but it was like an entire season was a dream.
This show cannot be killed, and they try. It's not like nobody's trying to kill this show.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess that she's just dead. And the
Yeah.
show picks up with, I can't believe mom died last year.
She had an oxy addiction in this revamp of
Oh,
it.
seriously?
Yeah. So,
I had no idea.
So they may play into that.
That she OD'd?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
All right. I
We'll
think
see.
she could go out on that she's out on the campaign trail for like white supremacists.
Yeah.
With school out for most kids today, the nation's largest movie theater chain is offering a special promotion to draw families to the locations. Regal Cinemas has brought back Summer Movie Express, $1 movies, and a portion of the ticket sales will go to charity. The movies that will run through August include Iron Giant, Curious George, Despicable Me, Ice Age, Storks, Despicable Me 2, How to Train Your Dragon 2, The Lego Movie, Album and the Chipmunks, The Peanuts Movie, Lego Ninjago Movie, Ferdinand, The Secret Life of Pets, and more.
How sad is it that my kids are all grown up and I've seen every single one? Every single one.
Yeah, I've seen them all too.
You've seen them all too?
But I
Okay.
have an excuse.
No, that's right.
The 6-year-old.
Yeah.
Well, we talked about this a little bit yesterday, that even though these aren't brand new movies, they're relatively new, but they're just fun to go have the experience with your
Yeah.
kid in the movie theater.
And there's
cool.
there's peanuts and Cracker Jack.
Yeah.
Stuff
Yeah.
like that.
It's cool, but I kind of would prefer that they were even older movies. Because, like, my kid's seen every single one of those in the last
See,
couple of years.
I like what you're thinking, but I'd prefer they were brand new movies.
Well, for $1, and they're going to give a portion of
Oh, how
that
about
to charity.
If they charge me only 25 cents for a hot dog, but it's been chewed a little on the end. It doesn't. Yeah, you gotta give me something new.
Speaking of movies in theaters, our movie expert Derek has a way for you guys listening to attend a hot movie on us.
Yeah, KZOK has teamed up with Adam Tickets for Free Movie Friday.
Free Movie Friday.
Your chance to win free movie tickets. Just text the word WIND right now, WIND, to Adam1. That's ATOM and the number 1 for your chance to win. The Adam Tickets app lets you browse movie titles, buy tickets, invite friends, even pre-order concessions, and skip the lines. All this right from your phone. And remember, we'll review all the new movies coming to theaters later on in the show.
Thank you, Derek. So, Danny, you get to pre-order those concessions, and I don't believe it'll be a hot dog with a chewed end.
I am not. How do you know it's my popcorn?
What do you mean?
Well, I order it online.
Yeah.
What do you do then?
I think you just go up and say, "Hey, I ordered
No, what
my
do you do?
popcorn."
You're the movie theater.
Yeah.
So this is me. Nah, it doesn't sound like typing.
Yeah.
It's me ordering online.
Right.
Then what happens?
I make your
sending it to
popcorn.
you. Yeah, what do you do with it?
And then I hand it to you.
Why would I order it online if you're going to just hand it to
Faster.
me?
So that you don't have to stand in that line.
Aren't I at home?
It's like Starbucks.
No, you're
You
not
ever
at home.
pre-ordered Starbucks?
Do it at the movie theater.
But the word pre-order means before something.
As you're walking in, you put in your order, then you walk up, you get your popcorn, you go sit down.
Everybody else is standing in a giant line waiting to get up to tell someone their order.
See, I've seen this done.
Yeah.
And it seemed to me to be a bunch of food in open containers sitting out on a counter. I also did it at a theater recently with my wife, and she ordered a drink. And I thought, everybody's putting their fingers in that drink. This is crazy. Cover my drink.
Bruce Willis is set to be roasted this summer, and one of his former co-stars will fire up the grill.
No way.
Joseph
Mr. Falcon.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt has signed on as roast master for the Comedy Central roast of Bruce Willis.
Whatever happened to the real Roastmaster General? Jeffrey
be
Ross.
there.
Ross, yeah.
Yeah, he'll be there, but they've often pick one particular person
Oh, didn't know. And
to.
what show did they do together?
They did several movies together, Sin City, Looper, and Looper was a great movie. Joseph Gordon-Levitt plays a young version of Bruce Willis.
I like that guy. I think he's real talented.
He's great. And he was a child actor who continued to act and not get into too much trouble. So we know, of course, Bruce Willis has a bazillion movies.
Yes, I think that was a personal dig at
really?
you.
You do? You do?
It wasn't.
Yeah, no,
Statistically
really.
speaking, it's just a
That's
nice
true.
story.
It is? That's a factual thing you want
No,
to stand by?
At least that we hear most about
There you
people
go.
that got into trouble.
Statistically speaking, they mostly do fine.
Yeah.
Bruce Willis's roast will air later this summer. Of course, we have seen past roasts from Rob Lowe, Justin Bieber, Charlie Sheen, Roseanne Barr, and Donald Trump.
But Roseanne Barr's not getting a call
Nope,
these
not
days.
this time. Nope. Let's take a look at sports.
Sports.
Sports brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys. If you're facing a DUI, call 1-800-DUI-AWAY, 1-800-DUI-AWAY. Yesterday, Aaron Judge and Miguel Andujar hit 2-run home runs off James Paxton in the first inning.
Oh.
That's all they needed. They beat the Seattle Mariners 4-3, 3-game sweep. So, Derek, where are we in the standings?
Currently, we are in second place, 3.5 games back behind the Astros.
Weren't we in first place at a game and a half ahead the other day?
We've lost a handful, and the Astros are on a tear. They just have not lost. I think they're 13, 14 games
Derek,
straight.
have they lost yet?
They did lose a couple days ago, but
Like I said, they haven't lost any games except the one a couple days ago.
You guys just keep saying stuff.
but out of their last 10 games, they have won 9, so the Astros are
That's
trying
not
to get up.
bad. That is not bad at all.
It's terrible news.
That is
Well,
terrible news.
They hope to turn it around today, but as we've discussed, this is a very difficult road trip for the Seattle Mariners.
They'll turn it around.
Turn
I
around.
hope so. They're playing the Boston Red Sox today, who are also red hot. 4:10 start time on Root Sports. Now, they're on the road, but if you would like to win tickets to an upcoming home game, well, start calling right now to play an in-studio version of Mariners KZOK Music Trivia. We're going to play you a song clip. You need to tell us the name of the song, the artist, and the year it came out. Derek, play the clip.
Nice day for a white wedding.
Dumba, 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 doo.
I don't think those are the words, Danny.
Pretty sure they are.
Dumba-doo.
See? Paul knows them.
800-252-1025. Artist, song title, and year it came out. Call now. So 4:10 start time, Root Sports today. Tomorrow, the Seattle Sounders play the Chicago Fire.
Oh, yeah.
7 o'clock match time. In some football news, Saquon Barkley, he is a rookie for the Giants, and apparently people are awfully excited about him. He has the #1 selling jersey in the NFL. best-selling jersey for the month as well. They said as soon as he got drafted, his jerseys flew off the shelves. Carson Wentz, Ezekiel Elliott, Dak Prescott, Von Miller. That's the order for the next ones. World Cup action yesterday. Denmark, Australia 1-1 tie. France beat Peru 1-0. This shocker. Croatia beat Argentina.
Yeah.
3-0. Their chances are not looking super hot. Today, Brazil versus Costa Rica. Derek, do we know where they are in this match? I think Derek is on the phones trying to get our winner. Paul, if you wouldn't mind taking a look to see what that score is. We've also got two big matches today. Nigeria versus Iceland at 8. Serbia versus Switzerland at 11.
That game is in its final minute, and Brazil is leading 1-0 over Costa Rica.
That is no surprise.
No surprise.
A strange story about the World Cup. There is a man named Clifton Francis. He's a math teacher who lives in India. He is presently on his bicycling from Iran to Russia in hopes of meeting Argentina star Lionel Messi. So he started
You
on...
better hurry up, because Messi might not be there too much longer.
Seriously.
Can you actually ride a bike from Iran to Russia? Or do you have to take boats and stuff?
He said
You got to take a boat at some point.
I don't know. I'm visualizing the map because when you get Siberia involved, all of a sudden things are attached.
This is mental. He says...
Let me check MapQuest to see if I can ride a bike from Iran to Russia.
He has been chronicling his entire trip that traveled by air and sea to Dubai and Iran. And then when he got to Iran, he hopped on his bicycle. 2,600 miles he will be bicycling in hopes of meeting his hero, Lionel Messi.
I'm interested in the reason you want to meet your guy, but 2,600 miles not that impressive anymore.
No, and it is all land.
It's 230. It's 2/3 of the distance of the United States, and people ride across the United States for a charity or whatever all the time.
Okay, want to be impressed?
Yeah.
Before you get to Russia, you have to travel through every stan. All of the stands. Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, all of the. Well, okay,
Kyrgyzstan.
you can avoid Afghanistan and Pakistan, which is I recommend you do.
You
I recommend
avoid
you do.
Pakistan.
But like that's 5/7 of the stands.
Yeah,
I don't know on a bike too.
100 miles. 100 degrees outside. All that sand, and then there's some landmines and stuff. 2,600 miles. You say it's no big deal?
I didn't say it's no big deal. I just said I'm not that impressed. I can't name one single person. Let me sell that right now. But I'm going to go 500 people that have ridden farther, and just Americans.
Sure, but this is a guy who doesn't have a charity. He's just a math teacher, and he wants to meet a soccer player.
All right, it's very impressive. You're a big fan, and it's good to ride through the stands.
When I was in Alaska, I think it's called the Ted Stevens Trail, goes through the city, and it's beautiful. It's 25 miles. I was exhausted by mile 20 and barely made it to the 25-mile mark.
Hey, I walked 2.1 miles yesterday just for a Korean bowl. That's what they call it. It was yummy.
2 miles, 25, same thing.
2.1. Oh, no, throughout the day, I went over 10 miles yesterday.
Nice.
Yeah.
As we told you, the Mariners on the road today playing the Boston Red Sox, 4:10 start time on Root Sports. But we are playing Mariners KZOK Music Trivia. Derek, play the clip of today's song again.
Nice day for a white
Well, Carl in Tacoma knew the answer. The hardest part? Always the year. White Wedding, Billy Idol. The year? No guesses?
No, I'm done making stupid guesses of things I don't know.
1980.
You're so close. 83. Carl in Tacoma was correct, and for his music knowledge, he's going to the Jeep Winners window in our lobby to pick up tickets to what, Derek?
Carl won tickets for the game on June 30th at 7:10 versus the Kansas City Royals, which just happens to be Turn Ahead the Clock night.
Turn ahead the clock night.
The future is back on Saturday, June 30th, when the Mariners turn ahead the clock versus the Royals on the 20th anniversary of the original event. The Mariners will don futuristic threads, and the first 20,000 fans will receive a futuristic Mariners cap, courtesy of Alaska Airlines. Blast to mariners.com for tickets.
Has anybody ever seen the futuristic caps?
No,
Not
I'm
yet,
dying
no.
to
Yeah, they got any guesses?
Flashy colors for sure.
I was going to go antenna.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Silver.
Yeah.
I'm going with
They
silver.
look like the old TV antennas, the rabbit ears, but much smaller, of course. Don't be impractical.
You'll have another chance to win Mariners tickets Monday morning at the same time. And sports this morning brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys at 1-800-DUIOA.
in as little as 15 minutes, around 7:20 or so. We're just giving away Foo Fighters tickets. Willy-nilly. No, not willy-nilly. Willy-nilly. None of it's correct because you have to win them.
Yeah, you do.
We got a game called What the Foo. Be ready to play in about 15 minutes. You can win tickets to see the Foo Fighters.
People in Hawaii are so wrapped up in the volcano that erupted that some people are traveling to the scene specifically to take selfies with lava.
Yeah, see, I don't care that much about the lava and stuff, but let's just say I did. I would totally think I could take a selfie with it. It moves so slow.
Yeah, and I think it's intriguing because you've likely never seen lava in person before. And the problem is that getting close to it, you don't know if a fissure is going to open up and that crazy steam that's going to kill you, lethal steam is going to come shooting out, or just, fissures are going to open up in the sidewalk. But they also say there's Pele's hair, which is glass crystals that are in the air and can kill you.
Yeah, a lot of things there's also gases that can kill you with this stuff. So there's all sorts of ways to die. I just figure I'm not going to have any of those problems, that I'm going to take my selfie and get the hell out of there.
And that's what most people are thinking, like, oh, it's not going to happen to me. So people are doing this in droves, and it's pretty dangerous, and it is pretty reckless. And it's not stopping anyone.
No, like I said, it wouldn't stop me. You'd find out, Danny's dead. I guess he didn't listen to us.
But I think you do a lot of reckless and dangerous stuff all the time.
Yeah, well, it depends on your version of reckless and dangerous. I got all sorts of drama one time about something I did not think twice about, and apparently everybody, ooh. I walked on some train tracks around here.
Yeah.
And it was such a big deal. People filmed it and videotaped it, took it to my boss, who then said, oh, because he got tricked into the mania. But yeah, I walked on the train tracks right out the back door here one time to cross over that bridge and check out where people fish. And apparently that was reckless and I could have been killed.
Something you've been doing all your life and never thought twice about.
Never thought. Well, I thought twice. You go into a hole, a tunnel or something like that. A train could come. That's me and Jim O'Neill. I'm 12. Since then, walking on train tracks, I did not think of, but some people did. That's a reckless thing to do.
It was, and I know nothing happened, and I know you think it's no big deal, but walking on the train tracks are twofold. It's reckless. It's one, illegal because you weren't supposed to be in there, and two, what if a train came?
I'd do a reckless thing of moving over. They're really loud, and I would step to my right or step to my left. I'd do the time warp, for God's sakes, but I wouldn't die.
Well, that's reckless if you're just sitting there dancing on the train tracks.
Those engineers, they're bored. So hey, isn't that the guy from the Partridge Family doing the time warp? That's cool. Thank you, Danny.
Well, you guys listening, is there something that people would consider reckless or dangerous that you do? Because most of us consider Danny playing on the train tracks a little reckless.
So officials in Hawaii are dealing with people trying to take selfies because they think it's safe. And even though the thing is like 750 degrees Celsius or something like that, they're taking these selfies. I walk on the train tracks. I can't think anything about that was dangerous yet. There are other people who do consider that kind of stuff dangerous. What do you do that others might consider dangerous? 1-800-252-1025 or text 90627.
Well, good morning to James in Midland.
Hey, James.
Hey, good morning.
What's up?
What's up, Danny?
Just hanging in. What do you got for us?
Just hanging in. Yeah, I grew up on Partridge Family.
Well, thank you.
So did Danny.
Yes, I did.
Yes, you did.
All right, so what do you do that other people could find reckless?
Well, what I did, I was a little kid. Your parents, tell you to go fly a kite.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to get out of their hair.
Sure.
Well, my mom used to tell me, go play in the freeway.
Yep, that was a famous saying. People said that. It was a joke, but people did say that. So what happened?
Oh, well, we lived at a dead-end road at 512 right here in Midland, and I actually went and played in the freeway about 5 years old.
Oh, goodness.
Did the police come and take you away from this irresponsible mother of yours?
No, the lady that picked me up was from Child Protection Services.
That's what I thought.
Smokes.
That's what I thought. Well, I'm glad you survived it, buddy.
800-252-1025. Call that number now and share your story about something you do that people would consider reckless or dangerous. Let's hear from Paul and Buckley.
Hey, Paul.
Hey, good morning, Danny. Well, you already know this about me, but the motorcycling, it's gotten lately. It's scary. It's gotten a little much.
Now, this is something you're still doing that's dangerous?
Oh, well, just trying to deal with the traffic, Danny, and the people not paying attention and going fast. It's just not.
Oh, so you just mean riding a motorcycle in general? I
Yes.
could not agree with you more.
Yeah,
To be honest,
because
I
of the other
can't.
people.
I can't believe that I do it. In Los Angeles, splitting lanes is totally illegal. And cars are stopped. I'm going 40, so I'd have to agree with you, Paul, that riding a bike in this day and age, is reckless.
Is there something you do that people would consider reckless or dangerous? That's the question we're asking. And let's talk to Greg in Gig Harbor.
Hey, Greg.
Hey, how you doing?
All good, thank you. What do you got for us?
Yeah. Well, when I was going to Peninsula High School back in the 70s, me and a couple of buddies of mine walked across the Tacoma Narrows Bridge, but we used the cables instead of the roadway.
Oh, goodness.
Okay, I when I say super cool, I don't want to encourage anybody to do that.
No, not at all.
But when I've walked across bridges, because Amy, it's a little thing we do. We're going to go to the Golden Gate next. When I walk across that, I always think, what would it be like to use the cables, to walk the cables? That'd be awesome. So I'm impressed that you did it, but I think I am honor bound to point out you could have been killed.
Yeah, for sure. Tony in Kapowson, what is something you do people would consider reckless or dangerous?
Well, I drive log truck year-round. In the wintertime, we're coming down off of hard-packed, snow-covered roads that would make the ice road truckers mess themselves.
I'm sorry, I cannot understand, Tony.
He's coming down snow-covered hills in his semi-truck
I
that
got that.
are so bad that the people on ice road truckers would not be able to do
Oh,
it.
hey, that's a
They
good
mess
one.
themselves,
I
yeah.
totally get that reference. I wish I could have heard you better, because
My goodness.
I often think, how does they do that on those trucks, man? It looks like they're all going to be killed, especially the cute girl.
Yeah, that's the one you worry about, right?
I do. I worry about the cute girl.
We have some great text into 90627. Debbie in Edmond says she swims with sharks. She goes scuba diving with sharks. So that's pretty scary.
Yeah.
Somebody does stage combat with actual steel swords at full speed.
Oh, that's reckless
I'm
and
not doing
dangerous.
That's crazy. I mean, do you work at medieval times? Because I'm always impressed with how good those guys are.
And Andrew in Kent, who texts in frequently, he apparently is part of a fire breathing and fire dance group.
Holy smokes.
Who would have thought that?
Dragon Steps is the name of the group.
Dragon Steps.
Well, let's hear from Mark and Bothell. What is something you do people consider reckless or dangerous?
I was a U.S. paratrooper for 13 years.
Yep,
Wow.
I would consider that reckless.
Impressive, dude. And
Head
Mark,
over-
have you ever hurt yourself, or had you ever hurt yourself doing that?
No, the most I got hurt was I had a bad landing where I went feet, butt, head, and it gave me a slight headache.
But
Feet, butt, head.
feet, butt, head. But you ever jumped out of a plane dressed as Elvis Presley?
No, we didn't have that opportunity.
I didn't think so. While serving
had
your
uniforms.
country. oh, the uniform.
Had to wear, yeah.
Hey, when you jump, do
You're
you have
trying to one up a U.S. paratrooper.
do you have to jump with your gun?
Yes, we would jump. We would jump either Hollywood, which was just you and your parachute, or we would jump with combat equipment, which meant you had your gun, and you had usually a 35 to 50-pound rucksack hanging off you.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Reckless, but also
But thank you.
necessary,
Yeah.
and it saved our country.
Absolutely.
We were all going to speak in Bolshevik if it weren't for him.
Paul, is
You
there
know,
something that you do that people would consider reckless or dangerous?
I'm not jumping out of airplanes, but I have, now this sounds silly. I have an old pair of sandals that I like to wear like when I'm mowing the lawn or out working in the yard
Yeah.
instead of getting my regular street shoes, messed up. And apparently open-toed shoes and like big spinning blades are not a
terrible
good
idea.
combination. So my wife
No.
thinks it's reckless.
That's more reckless, to be honest with you, than Mark, the
Yeah.
paratrooper. Because Mark, the paratrooper, is doing things exactly the way they are supposed to be done. You, on the other hand, are a maniac
He's jumping out of an airplane
With
into
a
a
gun.
combat zone.
with a gun.
And I'm mowing my lawn with some flip-flops
One of you
on.
is irresponsible, and one of you is a hero.
Danny, something you do that is quite reckless and dangerous that you don't bat an eye at is put raw chicken on a plate, then put it on the grill, and then put the cooked chicken back on the raw chicken plate.
And actually, the only place I will correct you is I do think about it, and I go, watch nothing happen to me. I would say I collectively, with no real training, because my other training didn't count for this, I have gotten in a boxing ring with 13 men one at a time and fought them.
That's reckless.
crazy. I got punched in the face for nothing, for charity. Okay, not for nothing. I'm sure I helped a baby. But that was craziness.
And what's more reckless, you've never once washed a piece of fruit. And I'm with you.
Never once.
Who washes fruit?
What the funny thing with strawberries, they actually taste like a little dirt, and
yeah.
I like it better.
Yeah.
Tori, is there something you do people would consider reckless or dangerous?
This sounds really stupid now, but I used to go jogging at nighttime in the woods.
What is
Well,
wrong
that's
with you?
reckless.
I
Super
by
stupid.
myself. I'm not kidding. It was crazy.
And you've stopped this.
I've stopped this. I did it up until last year.
Oh, Tori.
I
Yeah.
know.
And
Where
Derek,
the hell are the woods, though?
Well, it's this trail by Alki, kind of
There's a
going
lot of
down
woods
to
in
the
West
beach.
Seattle.
Yeah, why don't you give a more specific address of where you're going to do this? You can't stop
find
being.
me.
You
And
can't
what time
stop being
tonight are you gonna
reckless.
be there?
All right, then.
Derek, what is something you do people would consider reckless or dangerous? Liv?
As a pedestrian, when crossing the road, I don't really wait for a good time to cross the road. I just jump into the road and put my hand up in the air, so I know if they see me, they're going to stop. At least I hope they're going to stop.
What if they don't see?
Then it's their fault, and I'm
You're
going to
that
sue
guy.
them. Don't I always have the right of way as a pedestrian?
We would do,
Yeah, but that doesn't matter if you're underneath a car.
And by the
I
way,
have the right of way.
if I see you, and this is a rule of mine, I don't stop. I get up on you as close as I think I can get without killing you. Slam on the brakes, and I have a face going like that looks like, oh my God, am I going to kill him? So you know that you almost died.
So you're both reckless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to eat some unwashed fruit.
And
guys,
go
it's
swimming
time.
right after, too. You got to go swimming
Don't wait 20
immediately
minutes.
after.
20 minutes, my butt. I have a T-shirt or a wetsuit shirt. I don't know what I've got, but I've got something that says that.
Yeah.
It's time to play one final round of What the Foo?
What the
For
foo?
your chance to win a pair of tickets to see the Foo Fighters September 1st, Safeco Field. If you want to play, call us right now, 800-252-1025. To see that band at Safeco Field September 1st. In order to win your way in, you need to correctly identify the phrase, the term, or the expression that contains the word foo. This one might be hard today. I'm not sure. Carol in Puyallup is our contestant.
Hello there, Carol. Can you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Yeah, yes,
All right, then. Do you understand the rules of the game?
yes.
All right, then here we go. This foo's, I'm sorry, let me repeat. This foo is the catchphrase of one of the most recognizable action stars of the 1980s. He wrestled on the small screen. He boxed on the big screen. He was part of a crack commando unit convicted by a military court of a crime they did not commit. Still wanted by the government, surviving as soldiers of fortune with his gold chains and mohawk and these famous words. Can you tell us what the foo?
No.
No, I'm sorry about that. Yeah.
Like I said, I thought this one might be a little bit tough. We'll see. Bill in Renton, do you need Danny to read the clue again?
I do not.
All right, sir. What is the foo?
Would that be I Pity the Foo?
That is I Pity the Foo, my friend.
Congratulations, Bill in Renton. You're going to the Jeep Winners window in our lobby to pick up tickets to see the Foo Fighters, the Joy Formidable, and Giants in the Trees.
And as always, big news brought to us by Goldberg Jones Divorce for Men. Call 1-800-DIVORCE, or you can go online to goldbergjones.com.
Well, the story everybody's talking about, First Lady Melania Trump.
Yeah.
She did something yesterday that perplexed many. Some applauded, some were appalled, and some were mixed because her actions were.
All right, from what I saw in the news, I will tell you this. I'm sitting here across from you appalled. I need to either be talked out of that or convinced, oh, you're right, be appalled.
Well, here's what happened for those of you who have not seen any footage yet. Melania Trump wore a jacket as she boarded a plane on her way to visit immigrant children being held at the border. The jacket she wore is a green hooded $39 jacket from Zara that on the back read in large letters, "I really don't care, do you?"
Right.
It looked like graffiti, but that's what's on the back of this jacket.
Yeah, it did look like it was like hand painted on.
That's
It's not.
That's
but-
the gag, because there are lots of jackets, black leather jackets, some that I own. As a matter of fact, some for like punk rocky bands, which I would own. It looked hastily scrawled on her back,
Right.
but it was not.
No.
So what happens?
Well, when she got to the Air Force Base, Joint Base Andrews, she had removed the jacket. She went inside and met with the children. Her spokeswoman says, "It's a jacket. There was no hidden message. After today's important visit to Texas, I hope this isn't what the media chooses to focus on."
Nope.
Nope, wrong and wrong.
Fake lies, baloney.
Yeah.
Well, then Donald Trump.
And I like her and her vampire accent.
But to think that she doesn't put thought into clothing is ludicrous.
From
she
what
knows
I
what
hear,
she was wearing.
From what I hear, she's bright.
Yeah.
And she's the first lady. Nobody puts anything on her back, including the president, without thinking it through.
And a former fashion model.
Right.
She puts a lot of thought into what she's wearing.
Well, Donald Trump claims it's a message about fake news media. He said Melania has learned how dishonest they are, and she truly no longer cares.
Now, on that, I would think at first, lies, nope, more lies. But it kind of makes sense of what else could it possibly mean? You don't think I care about these kids?
I think she wasn't paying attention.
So it's somebody else's responsibility?
Why would you wear that jacket
That's
about
still my
fake media or not?
Well,
that jacket was a poor choice.
But she did. And so she did it for a reason. She's not an idiot. So
her spokesperson says it was just a jacket. She was cold.
Do you believe her?
I don't believe either one of them.
Okay. Do you have a better suggestion?
That she's stupid.
Okay. That's fair. People are stupid.
I don't know the message she's trying to make or towards whom, but there's a statement there.
There's a statement there. So I have to only pick from what is there. And I'm going to pick the fake news thing that she was saying. You guys all say, I don't care, then I don't really care to you.
Then why have your spokesperson deny it?
Yep.
I mean, and say it was
because they found out how incredibly stupid that
It was stupid,
oh my
yeah.
God, that was stupid.
A Boston-based consumer watchdog group has warned of the dangers to children of summertime and the summertime toys.
Oh, yeah. Baby's new shotgun. Terrible. Bag of glass. Oh, my God. How can they still market that?
Each year, this organization, World Against Toys Causing Harm, better known as WATCH, they come out with a list of the most dangerous summer toys. What is on the list this year? Water balloon slingshots and lawn darts.
Okay, lawn darts
First
I
of all,
get.
lawn darts are still on the market anywhere in America?
Yeah, most everything is made, especially overseas. You can find
But
stuff
I mean,
on lawn darts.
I make tons of jokes about when they took my lawn darts away. My kids never seen lawn darts. I can't believe the lawn darts are anywhere.
Low-riding wheeled toys, swimming pools, all-terrain vehicles, baby pools, garden buckets, high-powered water guns, bounce houses, and trampolines all on the list.
I take trampolines. For sure that's dangerous.
Yeah.
I can order lawn darts on Amazon right now. However, they do not have the sharp tip that you would expect.
Right. Oh, yeah. Yeah,
But
they're out. Also, are plastic versions.
There's like a pointy tip, but it's not like an actual dart. It's not like a super
But,
sharp
I mean,
metal
people
tip.
were right to take that off the market. That was crazy. We
Yeah.
played from across the street, from
Right.
neighbor house to neighbor house. But half of those things I do not agree with.
Yeah.
The thing for water balloon launchers, those are fun, man.
Yeah, seriously.
And I can only think maybe choking hazard on those ropes and things. Hey, little
Yes.
Bobby in the face at point blank, always fun, but they could say dangerous.
If you've ever seen the movie Fried Green Tomatoes, or perhaps the movie Ravenous, then you might have an idea of what happened to a man in Michigan. There's
Because those two movies could not be more separate.
Yeah, but at the very end of Fried Green Tomatoes, we learn something that you may not recall, but the story will remind you. There's a new documentary series. There's a docuseries called Investigation Discovery Channel. Dead North is the name of the series. And this woman named Kelly Cochran killed her husband with a lethal dose of heroin. And now they believe at a family barbecue, she served him to the neighbors.
Oh, kind of cool.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, in the world of you, like how horror movies are made.
Yeah, right. Terrible.
That's wild. No, why serve him? Why not just bury him? Why hassle your friends?
That's a particularly twisted mind.
I got a little chuck stuck in my throat.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
One of the friends said, I remember the burger tasting a little strange.
Ask for the recipe, though.
He had no idea why it tasted strange.
What was it? The movie The Help, where the pie was made with a little something extra. I remember that one.
Yeah.
But what about fried green tomatoes?
Same thing. They kill somebody and serve him. I think it was
In
Kathy
fried
Bates.
green tomatoes?
Yeah. That's a great movie.
Was a great movie, but I don't. My mind is speculatory at best. I don't remember. Was it Kathy Bates killed a guy?
I think that she was the one who did it. But have you seen the movie Ravenous with Guy Pearce?
Yeah.
They are on like the middle of Nowheresville, Alaska. or
And
something.
Cabin Fever and a lot of them cannibal movies, but I just didn't. The thing I give fried green tomatoes is turning me on to fried green tomatoes. Boy, are they yummy!
Yeah.
A lot of salt for me, or forget it.
human bodies in there and stuff.
Yeah, apparently there's people in there.
In the tomatoes?
I don't know. That's what she says. That's what Sarah says.
Johnny Depp is opening up in a big way to Rolling Stone magazine about his highly publicized legal battles, his finances, his extravagant spending, and what he has to tell them is eye-opening, to say the least.
Shocking.
Now, one of the items we heard, which seemed ludicrous, was that Johnny Depp had been spending $30,000 a month on wine.
Yeah, that doesn't seem that crazy for the super rich.
Well, most people thought it was crazy.
No, the other stuff is way crazier. Like $4 million a month just in upkeep on his properties. That's crazy.
$30,000 a month on wine, flown to him from around the globe, and he said it's insulting to say I spent $30,000 on wine because it was far more.
Yeah, there you go, Johnny.
He addressed claims that he paid a sound engineer to feed him lines through an earpiece while filming. He said, I have an earpiece, but it's to feed sound effects, bagpipes, babies crying, bombs going off. It helps me become a better actor.
Oh, so he's crazy.
He said, what about the allegations you spent $3 million to blast Hunter S. Thompson's ashes out of a specially made cannon?
Yeah.
He said, $3 million? Hell no. $5 million.
Okay, but I'm down with that one. And let me ask you, Paul, and let me see what you think.
Yeah.
Doesn't a guy that's super rich, I mean, the first time I checked his net worth, he had $200 million.
Yeah.
Can he not, the most crazy lunatic friend he had in the whole wide world, said, I want to be launched into space? Is he crazy to have done it?
No, he's not.
He's not.
Yeah.
He's not very good with money.
Right.
But he's not crazy to have done it.
And he still has plenty of money left after that.
The
poor
earpiece thing throws me a little bit because I don't get it. You know, one of the greatest actors of all time, Marlon Brando, used to, if you go see a Godfather movie or other movies, he's going, let me tell you. And he looks like he's pondering.
Yeah.
He's had his lines written on the ceiling. And that's a factual thing that he admits to. All right, so now Brando does it.
Yeah.
This guy's crazy, but not because of these things, I don't think.
He also, Johnny Depp, disclosed that after his divorce from Amber Heard and the news of this lawsuit, he became severely depressed. He said he would wake up every day pouring himself copious amounts of vodka and start writing until the tears filled my eyes and I couldn't see the pages anymore.
Oh, I kicked that guy right in the nuts. But you know what? I mean, here's where he's crazy for me. $50,000 a month on wine, yet he wakes up drinking vodka? Get it together, mister.
Yeah.
So this is an interview in Rolling Stone. By the way, the guy who wrote this said when he walked into Johnny Depp's home, the first thing he saw was a giant cigar-sized joint. And then he proceeded to roll rolling papers and put in equal piles of tobacco and hash that he proceeded to drink with copious amounts of wine.
That's weird, drinking joints.
To enjoy with copious amounts of wine.
Whatever it is. He's not my role model like he could have been if he'd have come out of this like looking mildly sane but interestingly eccentric. Nah, I don't think he's that crazy, but I think he's an ass.
I think he's equal parts.
Crazy ass?
He's crazy ass.
He's crazy ass Johnny
ass.
Depp.
That's the big news of the day. It is brought to you by Goldberg Jones. Divorce for Men, 1-800-DIVORCE or online at goldbergjones.com.
All right, dig this, and you might want to start dialing right now. If you know where Sarah's Beaver's been, this is the time to call. You can win a pair of tickets to see George Thorogood at the EQC. It's 1-800-252-1025 if you know where that Beaver's been, or text. You can't text this one, can you?
No, give us a call.
Give us a call at 1-800-252-1025. I do.
Do-do.
A do-do.
Every time, man.
Every time. Do. A do-do. Looking around, all around town. Patches, no.
Patches the Clown.
That's it. Come on, Sarah, won't you give me a clue? I'll find your Beaver and I'll be calling you.
Do-do.
Where says Beaver? I want to know. Where it says Beaver, I got to know.
Where's that Beaver?
Where it says Beaver, I want to win on Danny's show on KZOK. Oh, nicely done.
Well, of course you want to win because the prize is fabulous.
The prize is good. Sometimes it's thorough good.
George Thorogood,
Yeah.
Emerald Queen Casino. We have got your tickets all for looking at pictures of the Beaver. She goes someplace new each week. Okay, we post those pictures to facebook.com/Sarah'sBeaver and, of course, KZOK.com. Oh, it's Abe Simpson.
Wayne, how the hell are you?
Hey, good morning. Hey, Sarah's Beaver was seen loading her giant white swan in the back of her Hamstermobile from Kia of Renton there with all of her favorite adult beverages headed to Eastern Washington to float down the rivers.
Sounds totally right.
That was incredibly well said. That has got to be right.
Yeah.
Wow, Wayne, I want to say that's correct so bad, but it is not.
Oh, Wayne, what are you, crazy?
That was last week. Just kidding. Jeff in historic Kent, have you seen where Sarah's Beaver's been this week?
Jeff?
Jeffy.
Oh, you better get it together, Jeff.
What is Jeff playing some?
It sounds like a train. He's waiting for a train.
Don't walk on the tracks, man.
All right,
All right,
lose
Jeff,
thank
Jeff?
you going to
Jeff.
speak to us?
I don't think we are.
Ah, bummer.
Oh man, it's
You had
George Thorogood.
You had your
tickets,
hand on the
dude.
tickets.
All right, John in Lake Taps, have you seen Sarah's Beaver?
Yes, I have. I do believe that crazy Danny Bonaduce rode Sarah's Beaver to Yakima, quite possibly past Paul's house via Chinook Pass.
Wow.
I'm going to go with to that.
The Palm Springs of the Northwest.
It's the first time I have ever known the answer to where Sarah's Beaver's been.
Yeah.
Well, you were
But
there. You had your
I
hands all
was.
over that Beaver.
Now, what? I don't even know. So he went to our website or Facebook or something?
He went to one of the above.
And what did he see?
Pictures of you and your hands
So,
all over my
okay,
Beaver in
'cause
Yakima.
I didn't know what you wanted me in, so some of them I just raised it up and there was only a picture of my hand.
There's
So
plenty of you
Ah.
fondling the Beaver.
you can never get enough of me and your Beaver.
She did appreciate the trip. I'm not sure why John says you rode her out there.
That's
because
what he
I'm
said.
Pretty sure you drove your Jeep. Either way, John is the winner. He's going to the Jeep winners window in our studio, in our lobby, to pick up tickets to George Thorogood at Emerald Queen Casino. Congratulations. We'll be right back.
So here's the thing. If you ever wondered what's really going on inside the studio when we're doing this show like this very second, well, you can watch every minute of it on Danny TV. And by the way, if you were to go to KZOK Facebook page, you'd see us. And one of our favorite listeners, Yo, is in studio. And swear to God, Yo has no pants on. True or untrue?
That is true.
Oh,
Totally,
completely
totally
true.
true. So
100%.
check that all out, and you can watch daily replay of the entire show, commercial free, at KZOK YouTube page.
And yo, you can say hello into your microphone.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, say hello into the microphone.
Into the microphone, honey.
I like talking to Mr. Microphone.
There we go. That's the Yo I know and love.
Well, Danny, you have said your criminal days are pretty much behind you, with one caveat.
Yeah.
You want to steal a French bulldog.
I don't know that I want to.
But you would.
I've got some money on me. I could buy a French bulldog if I really wanted to. But if you ask me if I see a French bulldog unattended, and I'm pretty sure I'll get away with it, because I think French bulldog napping is right below kidnapping, and people hate you. I'd steal some guy's dog. You probably didn't even treat it well.
That guy would hate you, but I think everybody else would understand it.
They would, absolutely.
Well, sadly, this came up because a family was at home. Somebody was in the shower, someone else was watching TV, and criminals broke into their house and stole their French bulldog. And it was a puppy, and he was so cute. Of course, they're heartbroken. And that's when Danny said, yeah, I get it. I would do that too.
Yeah.
No, totally. I'd steal it from a child. Watch him cry. Take his candy, too.
Candy from the baby.
Yeah, what are you
French
doing?
Bulldog.
You shouldn't have a French bulldog. You're one.
There are some things that are a little hard to resist when it comes to stealing. You know, when I'm in a hotel room, which happens a lot, I steal it, the pad of paper. There'll be a little pad of paper and a pen, and it says, your mom's
Whatever
hotel.
yeah.
And it's meant for you to write stuff down that you need. I cannot resist. I steal it every time.
Yeah.
Now, when
It's weird.
they know you're going to do it, is it stealing? Because I take all the shampoos, conditioners, skin cream, things I don't use except for shampoo.
Yeah.
But I have a collection that's funny, and I like it, even shower caps. Is that stealing?
I mean, the intent is for it to be used while you're there on site and leave what you don't use so that they can reuse it. So, yeah, that's stealing.
They could reuse the shampoo in the
They
bottle.
do.
That's
Do
gross.
you have at home?
What?
They're going to, after you've stolen it, they're going to reuse it?
No, in the thing. If I get into the shower and I use some and then put the top back on, so they don't refill that.
Right.
with
I'm
the
saying the unopened stuff. If there's stuff you didn't use at all the whole time you were there.
You're stealing.
This is a
stealing
long walk down a short pier because I'm taking it. It's mine.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it. $300 for this hotel room or whatever it is that hotel rooms cost. I'm taking the shampoo.
You should.
Well, you guys listening, what is the one thing that you have a hard time resisting the urge to steal? Let us know what it is by calling 800-252-1025 or text your answer.
So I would steal a French bulldog. And I don't care that it was French. That's not why I'm doing it, although they do bother me. The question is, what is something you just have a compulsion to steal? 1-800-252-1025 or text away to 90627.
We'll start with our friend Mike in Sultan.
Hey, Mike.
Good morning, Sarah. Good morning, Stinky Sexy Abaducci. Good
What
morning,
up, buddy?
Yo.
Oh, he said hello to you, yo.
Hey, yo, how
You're
you doing?
talking to your microphone, yo.
Yeah, what is your issue with that?
She shrugs her shoulders.
She's shy.
Yeah, always good radio. Ask
We've
Joy.
never known you to be shy, yo.
This is true. She says hi, Mike. Hi.
Okay. I want to go to Paul's house, break into his freezer, and steal every bit of bacon that he's got there.
That's a lot of bacon, man.
Don't take my meat.
Don't
Mike.
take the man's bacon.
It's hard to resist stealing another man's bacon.
Oh. I mean, fruit. Right in the produce section, like grapes and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Just eat them walking around. And that candy you get in those bins.
Oh, you can't stop.
You mean
No.
the sample aisle?
Yeah, that's exactly what I call that.
A lot of people do that where they'll go to the grocery store and don't view it as stealing, but it is.
No, I view it as stealing. I know that I'm stealing, but I know that I'm stealing 20 cents, maybe 30 cents. They can take it.
It
It's
adds
Fred
up,
Meyer's
Danny.
where I really do it because they have the best candy.
They're, especially in grocery, their margin is so slim.
Yeah.
You're totally hurting that business.
Yeah.
You are putting Fred Meyer out of business.
No, he lost his last name. It's now just called Fred. That's the story because I did that.
Farmer Ted, what's something you have a hard time resisting the urge to steal?
Good morning. How you guys doing today?
Well, thank you for asking. What do you got for us?
I like to steal credit.
What do you mean?
Well, if I'm at work and something good happens and nobody wants to claim it, I'm taking credit for it.
You're an ass. Oh, my God. That's Farmer Ted turns out to be a terrible human being.
Like you've never done that.
Steal credit? No, that's not. I steal things, tangible things. But
Yeah.
stealing somebody's credit, no, I'm not. That's not me.
Aaron calling from Gig Harbor, what's something you have a hard time resisting the urge to steal?
Well, it happens about 50% of the time, but I purposely shove beer as far back underneath the shopping cart as I possibly can so the cashier doesn't see it. And I have a hard time not telling him to ring it up.
Oh, wow.
You know what?
Wow.
I think you're well within your rights.
As an adult to steal beer, I mean, stolen beer is fantastic.
Right,
Nothing
tastes a little better.
Nothing tastes better than stolen
Right.
beer. It's like free beer, then stolen beer. But to do it as an adult at a grocery store, like to hide it like that,
Yeah, like a 12-pack and you put it underneath and
Yeah.
hope that they don't see it behind the big thing of paper
Is there
towels.
something I don't understand? Why would it be different as an adult? To
yeah, because
steal?
when you're a kid and you can't
Can't-
buy the
you're
beer,
not-
of course
it's not
you
legal.
steal it. That's how you do it. That's how you get.
So
beer.
it's all right. Oh, that makes perfect sense. So I must be a terrible guy that I would steal a dog because you wouldn't even steal a 6-pack of beer.
Yeah, I guess
Wow,
so.
that's awesome. You're a good man.
What is something you have a hard time resisting the urge to steal? That's the question we're asking, and we'll get the answer from Brett in Port Townsend.
Hey, hi guys.
Hi.
So, yo. So what I was thinking was when I go to get my coffee in the morning, these guys have these big, huge brodozers worth like $40,000, and they just leave them running as they
Yeah.
go in for coffee, and I totally want to take their truck.
I think you should kind of do it.
If they leave the keys,
They
in,
leave the
leave it
keys.
running.
There's an implied consent there. That if
Yeah.
you steal a car that is actually running, I think that's their fault.
When I did my ride along with the Seattle Police Department,
Right.
the officer, a great guy, Officer Jay, he left the car running. And I'm like, what are you doing, leaving the car running? Wouldn't somebody just steal this? He said, that's just policy. We leave the cars running. I want to steal a police car.
I have seen that. I've seen police cars running outside of a restaurant or outside of a
Yeah.
store. And I
When
guess
they're in
it's-
there eating?
Yeah, I
Yes.
guess it's so that they're always at the ready, so that they can run out and jump right in it.
Yeah.
How long does it take to turn the car on?
I think they're crazy.
It's
They're
totally crazy.
enticing theft.
Yeah.
I'm learning from our text line at 90627 that everyone's home glassware collection is entirely stolen from bars and pubs.
Yep.
Everybody steals pint
You're right.
glasses, wine glasses.
You're right.
Anything you can drink out of, they'll take home with them.
You got me there.
That's true. I have quite a few pint glasses that I am now realizing completely stolen.
Yeah,
If
sure.
it's got a cool logo on it, like a Mariners logo or something,
Yeah.
just next thing you know, it's in your purse.
Yeah.
James and Bothell, what is something you have a hard time resisting the urge to steal?
Good morning. Well, you hear jokes. I like to steal jokes. Everybody thinks it's my joke, but Foster Brooks is one of my favorite comedians.
I love Foster Brooks. But I will tell you this, James, if you are comfortable stealing other people's jokes, you need to get into radio. Because that's how everybody makes their money, my friend.
Paul,
What was
what
that
is-
guy, Scott Shannon, the big
Yep.
$5 million disc jockey in New York City, said to me, and I quote, it's like my first days in radio. He said, "Now remember this, son, if you steal from me, you're stealing twice." Meaning he stole whatever he said. Plus, he sounds like Mr. Ed, apparently, when he says it.
Yeah.
Paul, what is something you have a hard time resisting the urge to steal?
So I've never stolen one just because I've never seen one in real life. But if I ever came across one of those giant canvas bags with the dollar sign on it, like from the bank robbery in
I think you'd be
the
all right.
cartoon, I'd totally walk away with that.
Yeah, you could do that.
Tori, what is something you have a hard time resisting the urge to steal?
I have a very strong desire to steal a hedgehog.
A hedgehog?
I love hedgehogs and they're ridiculously expensive.
Yeah, no, you can't steal it.
$300-$350.
Wow.
Yeah,
And
exotic animal.
don't you have one in your freezer?
I did for a while.
Let's give it up. I believe that our guest might have something she feels the need to steal. Yo.
Well,
talking to
A
your
little
microphone.
closer to the microphone, or eventually we're going to think there's something wrong with you.
talking into Mr. Microphone.
All right.
I have never done it, but I always have the urge to steal those little balls on people's antennas.
Like if you steal the 76 ball or the Jack in the Box face,
Yeah, they're hard
that's
to
a
get.
thing. You can't that's worth $100 probably now.
Yep.
I want it.
And Derek, what is something you can't resist the urge to steal?
When there's one breadstick left in the basket at Olive Garden, I'll say, "Does anyone want this?" And as I'm saying it, I reach in and pull it out and start eating it.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
You have to take it.
No, you do. Yeah, you have to. I understand completely.
Thanks for your calls and texts. We will be right back with the news. News is brought to you by Car Pros Renting Kia. Officers shot and injured a suspect this morning in Normandy Park after responding to reports of a suspicious vehicle. According to the King County Sheriff's Office, a call came in to police about an occupied suspicious vehicle. This was at 5 o'clock this morning. When officers arrived, shots were fired. Now, the Seattle Police Department confirms that a suspect there was shot in the shoulder by Normandy Park police, but it is unclear what led up to the shooting, and all officers are okay. One man died after he drove his vehicle into a pole in Seattle's Ballard neighborhood overnight. Just after midnight, the Seattle Fire Department responded to the intersection of 15th Avenue Northwest and Northwest Market.
How is it possible that anybody got going that fast? That's a destination I pass 3-4 times a week. It's Five Guys Pizza. It couldn't be more. How do you get going? I saw the car. It's cut in half, and he hit other people.
Yep.
How do you get going that fast?
Crazy.
Several other vehicles were part of this devastating crash. One woman was taken to Harborview and is in stable condition. 3 other patients were hurt, suffering minor injuries. It is unknown what caused this man to crash his vehicle, but he did not survive.
I'm going with that pole.
Yeah. In international news, Hungarian lawmakers have passed a constitutional amendment that makes homelessness a crime.
It's about time.
But in Hungary, not here.
Yeah, well, everybody's hungry. They're homeless.
They also have a new law that punishes those who help asylum seekers.
Wow.
Yeah, that seems wrong to me.
Yeah.
Well, Hungary was very early in this, not
Caring about the welfare of others.
allowing them in their country.
Yeah.
Not like putting up walls immediately. Said, we do not have the infrastructure. We don't have the money. Do not come to this country.
We should tell the president. Apparently, Hungary will pay for the wall.
Hungary doesn't really have a wall. Hungary has an idea, and it's even conceptually
They do
wall.
have a wall. Hungary did, but build walls around their borders. Not all their borders. 'cause
Hungary
that's
has
huge.
a wall around their country?
Not the entire country, but yes, they did build a border wall so that they
Well,
would
that is
not.
news to me.
Yeah, this happened 3 years ago when this first started. They
And
said,
is it like a fence? Like we call it a wall here,
Oh.
but it's really a fence.
Oh, well, then I don't stand corrected. They have a fence. Of course they have a fence. How are you keeping people out of your country?
A lot of
most places
Europe
don't have a
does not
fence.
have anything.
Most of our border doesn't have a fence.
That's true enough. But in Europe, where the countries are much smaller, they're more like states, there are lots of fences going up.
Human rights say that this move is an attempt to eliminate refugees and migrants from the Middle East and other regions, but they said we have plenty of support for this. It is now illegal to live on the street or in parks regardless of the reason. So if you're a citizen of Hungary, you do not have the right to sleep outdoors.
Can I still camp?
Camping is different, yeah.
Is there a day limit? It's, 3 days or whatever?
I'd imagine that if you go to a park and pay for your permit,
Yeah.
then
All right.
yes.
I think it has more to do with where you're from and where you're going.
I wasn't going camping in Hungary anytime
No,
soon,
really?
but it's good to know.
A couple traveling on a Florida highway captured video of a driver using some kind of James Bond-like device to cover their license plate while going through a toll booth. This video shows this vehicle, and all of a sudden, as they get to the toll booth, a black cover descends to conceal the license plate from the toll booth cameras.
And where was this?
Florida.
Okay, because didn't we have this here?
Yeah, we had
and
a
I
similar
was jealous.
situation, yeah.
It was a station wagon or something. I'm going,
Yeah.
why? I'd spend because it's got to cost several $100s to figure out how to do that.
Yeah, but if you can avoid the toll for years.
I think that guy is more just flipping off the man.
Yeah.
Is what I think.
Yeah, it looks almost like if you have an automatic shade and you push the button, and
Yes.
the shade comes
Yeah.
down, and then it comes right back up, and you can
And
see
I
your
think that
license
guy
plate.
was throwing some shade.
An Indian yoga guru celebrated International Yoga Day
International Yoga Day.
I know what that means.
by teaching a class with a world record-breaking 105,000 students. And this yogi headed a yoga class bright and early in the morning, smashing the Guinness World Record by almost double.
Wow.
And the Guinness Book of World Records said, yep, this is
So the other one only had about 100 people with nothing better to do.
55,000 was the old record.
That's what I mean.
This was 105,000 people doing yoga.
And this take place in India?
Stinky in India, yeah.
Did you say stinky?
Yeah, 105 sweaty
All those
people.
sweaty people doing yoga?
Yeah.
Weren't they outdoors?
Still.
All right.
How do you even see that far? Like, there's so many people in front of you. How do you see what the instructor's doing?
Most likely a TV screen.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
I thought that was a valid question, and then I felt stupid.
I guess if you're in like a big sports stadium and there's a Jumbotron in India.
Also,
Cricket
there are
stadium.
certain countries, and I'll be honest with you about this. India would be one of them where you don't think, hey, we're going to do this big thing. Bring out a ton of electronics because we got nothing to do but burn some money.
Right.
It's just not the way I think about what's happening in India.
Yeah.
It's a cute story in Connecticut. Well, it's a nice story for everybody except the owner of a particular vehicle.
I don't know, and me and Paul probably wreck it.
Yeah. Authorities in Connecticut partially disassembled a car engine to rescue 4 baby raccoons that were hiding underneath the hood of the vehicle.
Yeah, you don't want to mess up the gas mileage.
I was going to say, don't go out of your way to rescue raccoons. They're terrible animals. But they're in your car. Yeah, you got to do that because
It's
you don't
gonna
want that in
stink.
your car.
It's going to stink after a while.
It's going to have splatter.
You turn on the AC and it pulls that air right
Yeah.
in.
Next thing you
don't
do
want
is smelling dead raccoon.
Yeah.
Told ya.
Yep. So they looked under the hood and they're like, oh no, there's 3 little baby raccoons. And they said, wait, I see more eyes and more eyes and more eyes. There were 6 little baby raccoons.
Oh, wow. That's a lot of raccoons.
And they
Barely a good dinner.
Yeah, especially the babies. Tender meat, though. Really.
And easier to catch because they trust you. I'm going, I got to say more words till somebody cares that I'm being horrible.
You can fit them on the George Foreman grill.
There. Yo, ladies and gentlemen.
Yo.
Hey, yo.
All right, I've got some bad news in the news. Well, really, it's bad news for people who are planning to go to Northern Europe or to England.
And Hungary.
Not Hungary, that's
Oh.
Eastern Europe. No, this is only affecting Northern Europe and Britain. They are running out of fizz.
No.
No. Not fizz.
Now the song just goes like this. Plop, plop. It's terrible, man. What are they going to do? Thank you.
Yeah, they are running out of fizz. They say they are running out of the chemical carbon dioxide in the chemical plants that make bubbles.
That's going to affect their beer.
Yes.
Can't mess
Oh,
with
yeah.
England's beer.
No beer, no soda.
Okay, take away England's beer during the World Cup. There's going to be riots everywhere in England.
true.
You know he's right.
Yo, are you frightened by that sound?
I am.
Derek, play that again just so I can see Yo's face.
Oh, that's what that is.
We killed Yo.
Yeah.
There's going to be rioting in the streets. They're concerned. They do not know what to do because, especially with soccer underway, if they run out of beer, there's going to be chaos.
It's terrible, yeah.
Algeria has turned off their internet. Not permanently.
Are we all surprised Algeria had internet?
Yep, I'm right there with the big screens in India.
Algeria turned off its nationwide internet during high school exams to try to curb cheating. They have had so much cheating.
I got an idea. How about, discipline your kids?
Yeah.
Teach them right from wrong.
You know, it happens here all the time, too. Now with kids all having cell phones, they cheat.
Yeah.
They either make a cheat sheet, take a picture of it and have it on their cell phone. They text each other in class.
Sit there and just Google the answer with your smartphone.
Was anybody besides me, and I only went to school to the 5th grade. Maybe I did this at the other school, but anybody ever write answers flat out on their hands?
Yeah,
yeah,
sure,
me too.
absolutely.
How do those teachers not catch that? How does your hand saying 1812 not be a tip off to what year?
Tip off.
That's one.
I wonder if we have a map of the world, if anyone in this room could pinpoint exactly where Algeria is.
No. It's by Egypt.
I don't even remember. Why would I go to a country where they won't let you cheat?
But that doesn't mean I can find Egypt.
Right.
I know
Easy
that
to
it's
think.
by Egypt, but I don't know.
Because we discussed this. I immediately go right to the Middle East and search around to try and find Egypt for a while. And then I go, maybe I need to turn left.
I forget who our listener was. I think it might have been a texter who said something that you said that was stupid or something. And he said that giraffes were all in Africa. And they said, oh, no, camels are all in Africa. And he said, no, they have them in Egypt, forgetting that Egypt is part of Africa.
Yeah.
So I think if we go to Egypt and turn right, we might get to Algeria.
Take a left and go a couple of countries over.
Left.
Right between Morocco and Tunisia.
Yeah, of course. Where else would it be?
What did I say? I didn't think anyone on the show could pinpoint it.
Yeah.
We cheated.
Well,
you said on a map. Different. Of course I can't pinpoint it just sitting here. I mean, there.
If the map that you hand me, does it have the word Algeria on it somewhere? Because then I could totally
Eventually
pick it out.
you'll get to it, yeah.
An improvised method of getting rid of a snake in a garden went horribly wrong for one young man. There was a snake in the garden. He decided to spray it with gasoline, and that kicked up a chain reaction with ending up with the house on fire.
But a medium rare snake.
Well, what happened was some of that gasoline landed on a lawnmower that was warm enough to catch fire.
Oh.
It's been hot all over the world. It's hot right now in Finland where this happened, and the house burnt
It gets
down.
hot in Finland?
I never would have guessed it.
Not in a million years. Okay, big screens in India.
Yeah.
Algeria having internet and hot in Finland.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I wouldn't even think they have sunlight. So how does it get hot? It's just dark all the time, dark in winter.
When I went to Helsinki, I was very hot and sweaty.
Really?
In fact, I just took all my clothes off the entire time I was there.
Is that right? You and Yo?
Yeah. Me and Yo love spending time together in Helsinki. We raised hell in Helsinki.
What's there we go.
Japan's committed to addressing its dismal record on work-life balance, and now that commitment is being called into question after a civil servant was punished for slipping away several times 3 minutes early to take his lunch break.
If you leave your job early, I think you should go to jail.
You should. Even 3 minutes early for
Even
lunch?
3 minutes early, prison.
And zero tolerance policy?
See, I don't care about the 3 minutes in Japan, but these guys do work themselves to death.
Yeah,
Literally,
they do.
there's a name for it. I forget what it is. But working yourself to death at your desk has a name in Japan, a thing it's called. So I think they should get you to relax a little.
They've definitely gotten a lot of flack over the past few years because of exactly what you said. People working so much overtime that they drop dead from exhaustion.
Which is wrong, yet not chicken wrong.
Exactly.
Just wanted to.
So this man is 64 years old, an employee of the Waterworks Bureau. This is near Kobe. He was found to have left his desk 3 minutes early before the start of his designated lunch break on several occasions. They fined him. They reprimanded him. They told everybody in the workplace what he had done.
Yeah, shame. Great shame. Loss of face, for sure.
Until then, somebody found out about it and said, really? 3 minutes? They then held a televised news conference where they bowed deeply in apology and said, we are very sorry, we overreacted.
Now everybody's going to take off for lunch 3 minutes early.
And wait a minute. I mean, I'm a taskmaster, so somebody takes off 3 minutes early to that, fine, especially if there's a ring. Go ahead. Go ahead. And third or fourth time, he's making a fool of me.
Right.
I think they were right to chastise this guy. No, not 3 minutes.
3 minutes multiple times.
Multiple times.
Yeah.
So, Danny, when you smoked, should you have paid back your bosses for all the time you wasted at work?
If you remember, I was fined $1,500 in Philadelphia. So, yeah.
But that's because you were smoking where you weren't allowed to smoke.
But I
in a
was
public
doing it during a
building.
designated break.
I'll answer your question from when I smoked. Yes, I absolutely should have. I used so much company.
I'll be
Derek,
right back. I need like 5 minutes.
Derek takes heroin breaks, and I think he should have to repay somebody.
Danny!
What?
You're not supposed to speak the truth on the radio?
What is wrong with you people?
What do you mean, you people?
It's Friday.
You were just naked with Yo in Finland.
And you're making Derek a heroin addict. Do you see the difference?
No.
One's true.
Right.
Okay, now I need like 20 minutes.
It's Friday.
I know what that means.
It's time for the Friday Fun Fact. Summer officially arrived yesterday. A couple of fun facts about summer. Mark Antony named the month July in honor of Julius Caesar. The month of August, however, was named for Julius Caesar's adopted nephew, Gaius Julius Caesar Octavius. He had the title Augustus, and he said, my name is so cool, I'm naming this month after myself.
Yeah. They were big fans of doing that in ancient Rome. Like, now I'm a god. You don't have to do one thing different. You don't even have to get a haircut, and all of a sudden you're a god.
In 1984, we got The Boys of Summer from Don Henley, a song that reached number 5 on the Billboard charts, stayed there for 5 weeks. And in 1986, he won the Best Grammy Award for Male Rock Vocal Performance. And The Boys of Summer ranked 416 on Rolling Stone magazine's greatest songs of all time.
Oh, that's nice. I always think when the Boys of Summer are mentioned, I kind of think about my testicles. And the Boys of Summer. I've always thought that.
The Boys of Summer?
Yeah, the Boys of Summer.
Are they dormant? Are they dormant the rest of the year?
Are you kidding? They've been dead for about 4 years now.
I actually thought The Boys of Summer had an official meaning, like baseball players or something.
Yeah.
It does not.
Huh.
It's just an expression that came out of nowhere and Don Henley's mouth.
That is a fun fact.
Yeah.
They came out of Don Henley's mouth. I barely know the guy.
News this morning brought to you by Car Pros Rent and Kia. We've got music news right around the corner. We've got so much interesting entertainment news going on. We've got sports. And our movie expert, Derek, when he's done with his heroin break, will tell us all about the new movies in theaters.
And news brought to you by Car Pros Rent and Kia.
Starting with some music news, Led Zeppelin yesterday announced that they are going to release an expanded box set version of their 1976 live album and concert film, The Song Remains the Same. They're going to release that later this year, complete with 4 previously unreleased live tracks.
All right, that's cool.
Yeah. The release is scheduled for September 7th. So not only is that cool that it's unreleased stuff, but they're remastering all this stuff. And Paul, I don't know if you remember, but Tori was explaining to us about the remastering. And like, Tori, you were saying how something sounds one way and then with whatever it is they're doing, it sounds so good.
Yeah, when you take something, so 33 rounds per minute, and they change it to 45 rounds per minute, and it sounds a lot better.
Because it sounds like Alvin and the Chipmunks, so you just speed it up.
That's basically it. But also, Jimmy Page will remaster this album, and he's been remastering all the Zeppelin albums and releasing them slowly, and they're amazing. Like, really bass-heavy. You hear a lot of John Bonham. It's amazing.
Sounds so
But it still
good.
sounds like the original, right?
No.
Like, we're not going to go oh, wow, that sounds nothing like Led Zeppelin, I'll still know and appreciate Led Zeppelin because they're pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know
it sounds
this.
like the original, but better. Like
Okay,
if they were
I'll
in
take
your
that.
room. Yeah.
All right. Sound quality better, but it still has that distinctive Led Zeppelin sound.
Correct.
Cool.
All right, September 7th is when that's coming out. And if you missed it yesterday, Tori told us about all the new releases that are in stores today, and that is up on our website, KZOK.com. A lot of good stuff. And ABC canceled the Roseanne revival over Roseanne Barr's racist tweets, and yesterday kind of surprised everybody by announcing that it's going to air a Connor family sitcom minus Roseanne Barr.
Roseanne without Roseanne.
Yep. 10 episodes, and they said this is kind of surprising because normally you need a pilot, you need some sort of plan. This is all just verbal. There's no pilot.
I mean, they already know what the show is. If everybody's staying on board, it's kind of like it never happened, except you have to write Roseanne out.
Yeah, and they have not told us how they're planning to do that. Now, Paul, you said you were watching and that she had a drug addiction?
Yeah, so she had been dealing with some pain. They didn't have medical insurance, so she couldn't afford the surgery, and she developed an oxy addiction.
Wow.
To deal with, she was dealing with that pain, kept taking more and more painkillers. So maybe that's going to be part of the way that they write her out of the show. Maybe she goes to rehab, or maybe she has an overdose. I don't know. Do you kill off the character? Does that make everybody happy? She made these racist comments. Is America demanding that you kill off Roseanne?
That's a good question. Or is she just mysteriously not there because she's in rehab?
Yeah, I think you have to address it. You can't not talk about it.
Yeah.
I'm glad
but
the
to
show's
kill her-
continuing, though. I liked it. It was funny.
Yeah.
They should just put John Goodman in drag.
Have him play both roles, yeah.
That would be fantastic. Well, apparently Roseanne did have to sign off on all of this, and she did.
Oh,
And
that's great. I mean,
She regrets it.
It's big of her to do that.
Yeah, I mean, she realizes that it's the job of 200 cast and crew.
Wow.
So she was responsible for those people losing their jobs. So this was good of her to do.
I mean, I'm not going to start a great for you, Roseanne, pat on the back campaign, but it is pretty cool that she did that.
In other entertainment news, Paramount is developing a new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles film.
Yes, please.
Really?
Yeah, I love the Ninja Turtles. Who doesn't like the Ninja Turtles? You don't like the Ninja Turtles?
Maybe Michelangelo.
Okay. He's the coolest of them all.
All right, so what I can't quite get my head around, though, it was the TV series.
Yeah.
Then they made a movie,
I
right?
think that's correct, yeah.
And then I think they made another movie. So why are they making...
And they made several TV series versions, too.
Yeah, but now they feel the need to do it again.
Yeah.
And
Why
Michael
wouldn't you?
Bay...
First of all, it worked. It worked for a bunch of people for a bunch of different movies and TV. It worked for Vanilla Ice. If it can work for Vanilla Ice...
rebooting his career.
Yeah,
I was going to
absolutely.
say, he was a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle?
No, but he had like I think in both of those original movies he had huge parts in the soundtrack and performed in them.
Are you telling the truth?
Yeah, that was
Teenage
actually
Mutant Ninja
the,
Turtles launched Vanilla Ice.
The original series of movies, there was 3 of them,
Right.
and that was where you had actual actors dressed in costumes, no CGI, no
Yeah.
computers, and they had a dance scene with Vanilla Ice rapping on stage while the Ninja Turtles had a dance battle.
So if we don't do another remake of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, we have no chance of getting another Vanilla Ice.
I gotcha.
And the
And it-
world needs more Vanilla
It
Ices.
makes perfect sense, believe it or not.
But they should go back to actual people in the costumes. The brand new movies that came out a few years ago were just completely 100% CGI, all computer animated, and I liked it back in the day when you had a real person acting it out.
All right,
I agree with that, except for Splinter. The rat needs to be CGI. You can't do a rat costume accurately.
I'm going to put a call into Michael Bay and let him know what you guys would like.
Yeah, if he wants Derek and I to work on the film with him, he can give us a call.
Fair enough. Speaking of Derek and movies, we are just a few minutes away from Derek telling us about all the new movies in theaters. Do have a couple of more entertainment stories to get to, including former Superman star Dean Cain. He was sworn in as a reserve police officer in Idaho.
Oh, wow.
Now, he's best known for being Superman back in the 90s.
Yeah.
Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman. Super handsome dude, and then all of a sudden, I don't know what happened to his career.
Yeah, lately, the only thing I've been seeing him doing is infomercials for house flipping.
Yes.
Like his team will come to town and you can come check out his seminar and he'll teach you how to flip houses with no money of your own and no loans. That's the weird part is you don't need any money and you don't take out a loan and somehow you can flip houses with right alongside Superman, which sounds like a great deal.
I tried to put on Q13, I think it was yesterday morning, and there's Dean Cain and he's talking and talking. I'm like, why is Dean Cain on Q13?
Yeah.
He's on the news? What's happening? No, I must have hit 11
Oh, maybe.
instead of 13. I don't know. Instead of like 113. I watched that infomercial for like 5 minutes before I realized it wasn't the news.
Sounds too good to pass up.
Yeah. Well, he's now a police officer alongside Eric Estrada.
That's awesome.
Wow.
It sounds like this is fake news. No,
Yeah.
this is true story. St. Anthony. Part of Idaho, the St. Anthony Police Department, Dean Cain, Eric Estrada, they're cops.
That's very cool. Are they bike cops? They got to be motorcycle cops, right?
Oh, well, Eric Estrada certainly should be.
Yeah.
Dean Cain's just going to ride a magic house, apparently.
But Eric Estrada, Ponch needs a John.
Yeah.
You can't just have Ponch out there by himself, no partner.
Amy Schumer is used to getting glammed up for red carpets, TV shows, and movies, but now it's all about comfort. She has a new podcast. Amy Schumer said, "Never will a bra be worn." She said it's kind of nice to just have the microphone and not have to worry about what she looks like. And
Yeah, that's how we do it in radio. I've never worn a bra into this studio even one time.
me and Tori said years ago, "Yep, we're done. We're not wearing bras anymore."
Except we have Danny TV, so people can be watching right
Yeah.
now. They can watch on Facebook Live. They can watch after the show on our YouTube channel.
Yo is in studio with us, and she made sure not to wear a bra. And
Yeah.
where can people see all that?
They can catch it on our Facebook page right now live, or they can watch it after the show, a full replay every day on our YouTube channel.
I certainly hope Tori just captured what Yo just did. Oh my gosh, Becky.
Well, I'm watching the replay.
Let's take a look at sports. Sports brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys. If you're facing a DUI, call 1-800-DUIOA. That's 1-800-DUIOA. Oh, geez, Louise. The Mariners. Aaron Judge, Miguel Andujar hit 2-run home runs off James Paxton, and they won again over the Mariners, 4-3.
Swept them.
Was a sweep.
We gotta just put it aside and move on to the Red Sox.
To the Red Sox.
Yeah.
Derek, where do things stand right now? How many games back from Houston are we?
We are 3.5 games back, currently sitting in second place.
All right, hey, we're in second.
Yeah.
So it could be a lot worse.
Hopefully, we get our act back together and Houston hits a bit of a skid and we'll be right back in it.
Yeah, Derek, let me know who Houston's series is because I know we have the Red Sox next. First pitch today, 4:10 on Root Sports. Wade LeBlanc and the knuckleballer again, Stephen Wright, pitching today for the Red Sox.
Houston has a 3-game series against the Royals, and then they're taking on the Blue Jays.
The Royals are pretty crummy this
Yeah.
year. Toronto's mediocre.
Whatever, turn it around.
They're going to turn it around.
Turn it around.
The Mariners. The Storm tonight, they face the Indiana Fever. Tip-off is at 7. And the Sounders tomorrow, they play the Chicago Fire. 7 o'clock start time. World Cup action, Denmark, Australia ended 1-1
draw,
yesterday.
yeah.
France beat Peru 1-0. And Croatia whooped up Argentina 3-0. Now today's action, Brazil versus Costa Rica. Brazil won 2-0.
Yeah.
Nigeria versus Iceland. Derek, where does that match stand?
Nigeria is currently in the lead 1-0 in the 52nd minute.
Oh, come on, Iceland.
Yeah.
No offense
You
to
root for the-
Nigeria,
you
but
root
they
for the
got
little guys.
They got a prince. I mean,
Nigeria is not exactly, the front runner either, but
Yeah.
Iceland still. They've got like 25,000 people in the entire country.
we're rooting for Iceland. At 11 o'clock, the match is Serbia versus Switzerland. In some basketball news, Steph Curry loves NBA championships, but he also has a lot of mouth guards. A lot of the guys who play in the NBA have big mouth guards.
Yeah. He has like flashy ones though, different colors and stuff.
Yes, and it's
He's always wearing them like halfway out of his mouth.
Yeah, I like just put it in your mouth. No,
Right.
he's got to chew on it. It hangs
Yeah.
out the side. Well, one of those mouthpieces from Game 4 of this year's NBA Final is set to be auctioned and is going to fetch around $25,000.
You. What is that person who pays $25,000 doing to and with Steph Curry's mouth guard?
Oh, I don't even want to think about it.
Yeah.
It
Neither
is-
do I, but you made me do it, Sarah.
I learned it from you, Paul. Let's see. In NBA draft news, the Phoenix Suns took University of Arizona center DeAndre Ayton with the number 1 overall pick. Duke forward Marvin Bagley III went to the Sacramento Kings. And Real Madrid basketball star Luka Doncic went to the Atlanta Hawks.
Okay.
However, he then got traded to the Dallas Mavericks for Oklahoma point guard Trae Young. That was a huge surprise. But also, this is the kid, Luka Doncic, who said he wanted to play for LA so he could be the boyfriend of Jennifer Aniston.
That's right, yeah.
Well, that's not going to work out because he's playing for Dallas.
She travels well, though. He's going to be around the country anyway. But Dallas is a nice place for her to check out.
Yeah, Jennifer Aniston's going to move there for 19-year-old Luka. What's his
It could
butt?
happen.
Sports this morning brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys. If you're facing a DUI, call 1-800-DUI-AWAY. It's Friday.
I know what that means.
New movies in theaters. There are a couple movies opening up, but really all eyes are on just one, and that would be Jurassic Park Fallen Kingdom. Now, Paul, I don't know if you noticed, but Derek this week has been wearing a Jurassic Park shirt.
Oh, I had no idea.
Are you obsessed with this? Is this movie like groundbreaking for you?
It's one of my favorite series pretty much of all time. I just go crazy for Jurassic Park. And then I loved Jurassic World when that came out. I thought it was fantastic too.
And what's this one about that they're like, how are they actually able to come out with another Jurassic Park movie? Let me guess. They're dinosaurs.
Okay, so spoiler alert, at the end of the last movie, things went horribly wrong and the dinosaurs took over the island and the humans had to evacuate.
Yeah,
So
they ate Chris Pratt. He's dead. He's never going to do a movie
That
again.
is not true.
Oh.
Not true at all. This movie
A guy
fast
can dream.
forwards 3 years into the future after the last movie, and the dinosaurs are still inhabiting the island, which is now completely abandoned. And the island is built on a dormant volcano.
Oh.
Well, now the volcano is about to erupt. So Chris Pratt's character named Owen and then Claire, played by Bryce Dallas Howard,
Yep.
they are going back to the island to rescue the dinosaurs so they don't all become extinct for a second time.
Oh, that sounds nice.
I mean, it's going to be a blockbuster. People are going to
Yes.
go see this movie.
Well, Jeff Goldblum, James Cromwell, B.D. Wong also are in this alongside Lake Stevens treasure, Chris Pratt. PG-13. Derek, what are the reviewers saying about the new Jurassic Park movie?
I think it looks awesome and I'm excited, but the reviewers kind of hope that this entire series goes extinct because it's rated 53% rotten.
Oh, wow. That makes me so happy.
53. I know, you used to wrestle him in high school.
I know.
Oh, that bums me out, though. Those are fun movies. We've also got a movie coming out that's a biography starring Paul Rudd and Guy Pearce. This is a rated R called The Catcher Was a Spy. This is a strange but true story of a professional baseball player who became a World War II spy.
The story seems really, really cool, but don't put Paul Rudd in your drama.
Oh, I see, because he's a comedian.
Yeah, and he's great. And all of those movies, comedic movies he's in, he's fantastic. He looks terrible in this.
Oh, it's such a great idea.
Yeah, I like the story. It just doesn't work, I don't think.
So Jewish, Princeton-educated, multilingual catcher for the Boston Red Sox turns out to be an international man of mystery. The story is so exciting. What are the reviewers saying about The Catcher Was a Spy?
Instead of popcorn, I wish I had a cyanide pill to chew on.
Wow.
29% rotten.
Wow, when I'm right, I'm right.
Bummer. Yeah, you are. There's also a documentary about Elvis Presley coming out, and this has Ethan Hawke, Ashton Kutcher, Alec Baldwin, and James Carville. Rated R, and this is the journey from Memphis to New York, Vegas, and beyond, all about the rise and fall of Elvis.
And does the entire movie take place in his Rolls Royce? Because it looks like from the trailer that the entire movie is shot in his Rolls Royce. Sometimes they point the camera out,
Yep.
but it's all in the car.
Well, they say that this guy who made the movie takes the 1963 Rolls Royce on a musical trip across America.
Yeah. And then Alec Baldwin's sitting in the back seat for some reason. It's weird. But I think it looks kind of cool, though.
All right, the reviewers saying what about the king?
It's better than dying on the toilet. 77% fresh.
It was that Siskel or Ebert who said that? 'Cause one of them would know.
And we've got one more movie called Boundaries, which stars Christopher Plummer, Bobby Cannavale, Christopher Lloyd, Peter Fonda, Vera Farmiga.
Oh, I like
rated
her.
R, drama comedy. Laura is a single mother living in Seattle. She has a constant need to put others and animals before her. When her father is kicked out of his retirement home, she agrees to go get him. Shenanigans ensue. Boundaries. What are the reviewers saying, Derek?
Surprisingly, Christopher Lloyd is still alive, but his career is absolutely dead. 56% rot.
Wow.
Wow. Okay. All of the trailers are up at KZOK.com. And Derek, tell everybody the good movie news.
Well, if you want a chance to go see one of these movies for free, you're in luck because today is Free Movie Friday.
Free Movie Friday!
Courtesy of Adam Tickets. Just text the word WIND right now, WIND, to Adam1. That's ATOM and the number 1 for your chance to win. The Adam Tickets app lets you browse movie titles, buy tickets, invite friends, even pre-order concessions, and skip the lines. All this right from your phone.
I'm going to do that today. I'm going to use that app today.
Yep.
I'm going to go see, I'm going to take Jelly Bean to see Incredibles 2.
Oh,
So I'm going to use that
great.
app so we can get our tickets like as we're heading out the door,
Yep.
order our popcorn before we get in there.
Good call.
We'll see how it works.
And that movie's supposed to be fantastic.
Yeah, I hear good things.
By the way, I want to remind you before we wrap up that I have a beer blog up right now at KZOK.com. Brand new beer blog from Postdoc Brewing in Redmond. Really good IPA that I had from them, and the review is up right now at KZOK.com. And next week on the show, another brilliant game from the mind of Paul will be
Yeah,
happening.
we'll see.
Yeah.
There will be a game. We can
Giving
tell
you the
that.
weekend to work on that.
Yeah, thanks.
So every day next week at 7:20, we're giving people a chance to win what?
John Fogerty, not just can you see John Fogerty, but you can see him at his sold-out show at
Ooh.
Chateau Saint Michel.
Wow. Okay. Big ticket next week. Every
Swanky
day.
show at a swanky place, and it's already sold out. Yeah, I'm going to listen at 7:20.
Well, you're going to start thinking of a
Yeah,
game before then,
I'll
right?
be here. Yeah. Well, we'll see. I might play this one by ear.
Thank you guys all for your calls and your texts today. Fun show, and you were a part of it. But up next, the man, the myth, the legend, Steve Slayton.